What's going on, football fans, Giants fans, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of the True Blue, True Big Blue podcast. Excuse me. My co-host Big Pat got the link a little late because I was running behind. I just sent him the link, so he'll be popping on here in a second. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for Joe. What's going on? Super Taj, King Tone, Deception. I see you. Thank you guys. Can you hear me?
Acting up, of course. Yay.
Oh, okay.
Look at me go.
I'm like, can you hear me? What the hell?
Yeah, I
What?
could hear you. I just, my internet decided it was going to bug out.
Did I
But-
submit the Pat?
Yeah, I know he was doing DoorDash, so he might be.
I mean, what kind of crap is that?
Hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Well, that's only acceptable when it comes to punani or money or violence.
Yeah, or women.
There he is. There he is.
Yes, finally.
What's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, I'm
Super
live
Taj,
with
King Tone, Skylar, what's going on?
I'm live with Lou and Pat. It's a dream come true. So without further ado, I give you the Big Blue Crew.
Oh shit, we got the
Bars.
male blondie.
Oh,
We got the male
Bars.
blondie.
oh,
Bars.
It's at 90 minutes, it's love balloons.
Let's start this off with a laugh and a cheer and a hurrah. Oh.
Okay, somebody hit a nice bong today.
Right.
No, not even close. I just been having a really wonderful day.
Jared,
It
what's
wasn't
going
brutal
on?
cold
King Tone,
here.
what's going on?
It was 43
Sorry.
degrees. The sun was shining. I could actually step out like this on the porch, and I wasn't shivering. The house was kind of comfy. I wasn't in the
Mac.
doldrums. You know how weather and Mac. I mean, I just came off a Hit Squad's live stream. Man, make sure you guys go check that out. That was fire. The topics and everything. That was
Yeah,
just-
I watched it. Well, I listened to it while I was
Right. That was
washing up after work.
fire, man. That was a great stream. Those guys were just hitting on all cylinders.
It
And then,
was
of course,
Giants Opinion, Hit Squad, and damn
Rodney.
it, I forgot the other guy's name. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
mentioned
that's a
that.
good group for them, man. Because GOP has a lot of things that he talks about. Look at his breakdowns of these college athletes coming out. He has some great breakdowns of those.
Oh no,
guys.
they did their thing.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah. Shout out to
And
them.
and I shouted out, you're dropping that video tomorrow. If you guys want to learn Wake Martindale's system, make sure you check out the video Pat's dropping tomorrow. You guys are going to really enjoy this.
Yo, I like doing the premieres that we do with the Giants interactions. I think we're gonna do that permanently.
Okay.
It's another episode of Giants interactions. It's gonna be Wake Martindale. It's gonna show you a little film on things. You know how we do in Giants
Well.
interactions. So that will be premiering tomorrow, probably around 2 p.m. Eastern time. But fellas, Lou, what's the topic for tonight?
You ain't see the title? The
No, I
New York
didn't.
Giants rebuild. The rebuild. Everybody was asking for the blow up. Everybody was asking for everybody to be fired. Now everybody's speculating about what we're going to do in the draft and arguing with each other about who we should draft and this and that. Well, before we get into those debates and those discussions, we need to look at who we've brought in the building as part of the rebuild and what their history and tendencies have shown about them. For instance, Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, not Patrick Mahomes, Kafka, right? Whose tendencies were centered around the passing game for Patrick Mahomes. And then you have Wink Martindale, whose tendencies are to blitz, okay? You have Joe Shane, whose tendencies are to draft and develop from within and not go crazy on free agency. You have Brian Daboll, whose tendencies are to coach up a quarterback and design a scheme that keeps the defense on their heels and plays to the quarterback's strengths. So with all of those different personality traits and all of those different approaches to the game, what is the first thing they need to do, right? Before we start talking about who we're drafting and all that, they need to come together and figure out what each one of them envisions for this team and how they're all going to come together and meet halfway to meet that vision. And then how we're going to implement this system and who are the players that fit this system and how can we go get them, right?
Okay, so do we want to start with the offense first? Do we want to start with the defense? How we want to start this? We want to start front office. How you want to start this? You want to go front office, offense, defense, office, front office? How you want to start it?
Well, what is it that most franchises do when they come in and they do a rebuild, right? They
Start
bring in
with front
some
office.
vets. They bring in, right, but they bring in some vets from wherever their prior program was, who's familiar with their prior program and their scheme and how they want to do things. So I would expect we'll probably get a vet from the Ravens. We'll probably get a vet on offense from the Chiefs. And we'll probably get a vet I lost my
From the
train.
Bills.
From the Bills, yeah. And that just like we did with Joe Judge and them, right? We got Logan Ryan, we had Nate Solder, we got guys that were familiar with what they were trying to do. So I would expect that to happen, right? And since you've been saying our offensive line is probably going to come from the free agency and things like that, I would probably expect either an offensive lineman from Buffalo or Kansas City, and probably a linebacker from the Ravens.
I was driving.
I'll say who wants to kick it off? You want me to kick it off? I'll kick it off.
Sure, go ahead, kick it off.
As far as bringing veterans from other teams, I could pretty much guarantee you that we're going to bring maybe one or two offensive linemen from the Bills. They have 2 free agents. They have a guard over there that's going to be a free agent, and you may see Bobby Hart as a Giant again this upcoming season, and he may play some right tackle for us. It just depends on what we draft.
NYG 22.
But if we bring Bobby Hart as a right tackle and a guard from the Bills, I do see them trying to get someone like a Laken Tomlinson in free agency, and you might have Andrew Thomas and like 3 or 4 veterans starting on this offensive line. Fans, Big Blue Crew chat, don't go crazy if we do not draft offensive linemen in the first round, because that can happen, because these guys usually hit between the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round when it comes to offensive linemen. Maybe they go Zion Johnson from Boston College in the 2nd round if he falls to the 2nd round, and let him play the guard. But look for them to get a veteran guard, maybe a veteran right tackle and a veteran center in free agency. Or they could be trades. You don't know what this new regime. I do know that a lot of players will be released as far as getting getting some cap room to get to that $40 million that they want to get. So they have a plan, because you just don't say, hey, we need to get $40 million in cap room. That's just too
right. That's too specific of a number.
Yeah, specific of a number. So you probably going to get like $40 million in the cap room and bring about 6 to 7. I'm not going to say bargain bin free agents, but in the middle of the pack. Don't expect us to make a big splash. Don't expect anybody like a Devontae Adams or somebody like the Honey Badger from the Chiefs, because he's going to be a free agent. I don't think the Chiefs are going to bring him back. Don't expect anybody like that. Expect from the range between 5 to 3 million and 10 million as far as free agent wise coming in.
Excellent point right there, Jared. I was going to actually bring that up later in the stream, but since you brought it up, we might as well touch on it. Our head coach, former offensive coordinator for the Bills, Brian Daboll, is the type of man who literally likes to design his offense based on his quarterback's strengths and comfortability. That has seemed to work for him everywhere he's gone. So the noise that came out of New York, or the news that came out of New York, was that he told Lord have mercy, told Daniel Jones to go all the way back to Duke and bring him the plays that he was comfortable playing and that he liked the most, from his Duke days to his Pat Shurmur days to his Joe Judge days. into the present and write them down, give them a list, and bring them to Brian Daboll. And he did that. So I would expect to see a little bit of Shermeris and Brian Daboll mixed, and maybe even some Cutliff in there in that offense. So, but that's a good point. He's a coach who actually listens to his players.
Honey Badger, what's going on, Jose? Just to add on that, Lou.
Tahoon, what's good?
I don't think that he's gonna make Daniel Jones play his offensive system that he went over there with the Bills.
Right.
I think he's gonna add some things from Kafka, and he's gonna add some things. He's gonna add some things with Daniel Jones. Like, look, I know you guys don't like Daniel Jones, and you have major reasons not to like the guy. He has not proven that he's a franchise quarterback in his first 3 years. I'm gonna give you guys that. Let's be honest, he hasn't proved that. But if you put a half decent offensive line in front of this kid and build a system around that, and I think the system to build around Daniel Jones is you get him out the pocket. You have a decent run game where you can run a play action and roll out with Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones loves to throw the deep ball. He does. He loves to throw the deep ball.
And he's more accurate with the deep ball.
And let him work the middle of the field. I think a solid tight end, I cannot say this enough. I got a little loud, sorry, but a reliable tight end in the middle of that field for Daniel Jones can work wonders for him. Because you know that Daniel Jones, when he's standing upright in that pocket, he's pretty accurate. I'm not going to lie to you. The guy can make some throws. He can make those deep across the field throws on comebacks and things like that. Give him some time. But I think a tight end will be his best friend. I'm not going to lie to you. I think you put a tight end in the middle of that field that could work against linebackers and get open and catch the ball. We may see a totally different offense coming up this year, and we may see an offense that could put up 20 points a game. I'm not going to lie to you. With an offensive line,
I honestly believe we're not going to go 2 defensive players in the first round or 2 offensive players in the first round. I believe we'll do 1 and 1.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because with Wink Martindale's system, not going to give away everything.
Yeah, but he's not the head coach. He's the DC. And Joe Shane already has ideas for the first 4 rounds of the draft. So how much do you think the GM is going to allow the DC to have?
Maybe he scouted offensive and defensive players. And since Wink Martindale is the coach, maybe he knows some defensive players that can fit his system. And maybe he's already scouted. Oh, I scouted this guy. Wink, what do you think you could do with this guy? Man, he can work wonders for us. Well, if we have an offensive line full of veterans already, let's just say they know that they can hit on the offensive line in the 3rd round. And they have a proven track record. I know you guys will be like, no, hell no. But they have a proven track record of drafting linemen between those 3rd and 5th rounds. And they're good. The assistant GM built the Eagles line. Can we all say that the Eagles offensive line is pretty damn good? So if they have the knowledge and they have the pedigree of picking linemen between the 3rd and 5th round and hitting.
Thank you, Honey Badger. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And they can hit between those 3rd and 5th rounds with offensive linemen. I trust them. And maybe you give Wink Martindale his blue chip prospects on that defense, and maybe this defense can win us some games this year if they're putting people off the field 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. If that defense last year was holding people to 3 points through the whole first 3 quarters, do you think we lose with Brian Daboll and them on the offensive side of the ball? If they give Daniel Jones a decent offensive line? I'm not saying they're going to build a top 5 offensive line in the first year, but if we can finish in the top 20 and not be 38, I think we got a chance, man. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know Joe seems like he got a lot on his mind right now, but what do you guys have to say?
I'm just letting you guys get your points across, man. I'm loving this. I really am. I'm loving all the enthusiasm, the excitement, the chat. You guys, another great stream, fellas. I I want to bring up something that nobody wants to really talk about.
There
What
he
if
goes. The topic is the rebuild, sir.
okay, now that I've been so rudely interrupted by
Oh,
my
I'm sorry,
co-host
sir.
here, let's talk about Daniel Jones. Okay? What if the reason I know I'm going to get slack for this. What if the reason Brian Daboll came here is because of Daniel Jones, his upside? What if Kafka took this job because of Daniel Jones, his upside, what he could do, his potential? All right. When you look at Daniel Jones's career right now, who the hell has helped him on the field win football games? We have watched this kid make plays during a game and get no freaking help. We see these route concepts that are ungodly awful. We have no scheme. Daniel Jones has been playing for the last 2 years. You guys criticize the play calling, but you don't criticize or you criticize Daniel Jones to the point of, well, he doesn't have the it factor. But you guys say the play calling is like complete garbage, but Daniel Jones doesn't. What's he supposed to do to be that guy when you guys are already saying there's
That he's
nothing
not
out
that
there on
guy.
the field for him? Son of a bitch, right in the middle of my rant. I'm back. But, you can't have one without the other, correct? How can you say that the play calling sucks, but then Daniel Jones sucks too because he's got nowhere to go with the football? Just a question. I mean, do you guys even, because we heard all the GMs interviewed, like Daniel Jones, we didn't say it. It was reported that way. It was reported from the interviews that come from the media outlets, and none of them said, Daniel Jones is going to be gone. Everyone said Daniel Jones is got some upside to him. Mara came out and said we did him dirty, did Saquon dirty. I don't think that Daniel Jones was forced on these guys. Do you think the reason that we got our coaching staff is because of Daniel Jones, because of what he has the potential to be?
I mean, who knows? I mean, it could. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, that
Sounds
may
like a
be
bunch of hogwash, but who knows?
It may be one of the main reasons they came over. Because a lot of people, a lot of those coaches and everything said they were going to work with Daniel Jones. If you remember, they said a lot of the GMs wanted to work with Daniel Jones. So the league may see that he has the potential. It's just that we had the wrong people here to get it to come out of him. Think about it. No. Everybody says that Daniel Jones is injured a lot. Yes, he's missed 10 games over his 3-year career.
Skylar Shaw says, I'm a huge Daniel Jones supporter. Sorry, Pat. His coaching staff has been fucked. They almost ruined him. He has hope, even though I feel like no matter how good he does, they're going to move on. Most new head coaches draft their QB.
That's true. That is true.
But let me ask you this.
He hasn't had a decent roster to work with. We have to remember that, people.
That's what I wanted to say is, what has Sterling Shepard done for Daniel Jones? What has Kenny Galladay done for what has Barkley done for Daniel Jones? What has Evan Ingram done for Daniel Jones? The only guy that he had a really good connection with got benched. What did Kadarius Toney really do? I mean, that Dallas game, that was huge, but he got hurt, and then Glennon took over, and everyone thought we had a better quarterback. But really, what's he had on this team that has helped him progress to be a good quarterback that he knows he can throw the football to that guy? Nobody.
And then the only people that did help Daniel Jones Patrick Sherman, he was fired after 1 year.
Yeah.
They took him away from him.
And they changed the system.
Caden Smith, they benched him. Slayton had a very good rookie year. You guys were thinking that he could be a number one receiver the very next year.
I agree
and
with
then
you,
they implemented that Garrett system, and then everything was taken away from him.
That's what
the kid has gotten a raw deal.
1-1.
And NYG 22, Daniel Jones was the number 2 ranked quarterback after the Saints game in stats. He was the second quarterback in stats after the New Orleans Saints game. Then it all went downhill. He had a 90 quarterback rating up to that point each week.
Yeah, he did.
90 plus 90. Not just a 90. 94, 93, 94, 92.
And that's with a shit offensive line and people being hurt. This guy's only had all his weapons 5 games in his whole career.
Not full games.
So, right. So, yes, I think he's gotten the most raw deal since being a New York Giant. I think he has. You got to think that this guy's been learning new systems almost every year he's been here. And I tell you what, if they do pick up his 5th-year option and he has a damn good season this year, if he throws 25 to 27 touchdowns, that's a damn good season.
He said Urban Meyer is going to be our special teams coach.
Well, he'll know the bars to hang out at.
Right.
Not in New York.
For sure. That's for sure. But, I mean, what are the fans scared if this guy does have a good season? Are fans scared if this guy does have a good season that you'll have to eat a little crow?
You guys listen to Deception.
Yes, that's right. Known NYG 22, not one game, up to that game. That means the first 6 weeks.
Yeah. He had a quarterback rating of 98 or higher. Well, not 98, but 94 or higher in 4 straight games.
Right.
Jeffrey Prado, thank you for stopping by. It's my first time seeing you in the chat. Please hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. Trying to help me get to where I'm trying to go.
And then think about it. Everything came tumbling down when Andrew Thomas got hurt.
Yes, that's when it went.
So even in that fucked up system that you guys say that he put up 94 better in 4 straight games. Should have had 4 touchdowns in that Washington football team game. Remember, one of his runs were taken back from a touchdown, and then Darius Slayton dropped a wide open touchdown pass that could have ended the game.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the kid has talent. You can't say that you haven't seen flashes of talent from the kid.
Right.
So, I mean, I think he's got one of the
Caden
most
Smith
deals since it's been here. Said what?
I said Caden Smith is.
Todd just
Caden Smith is. And I don't know. Maybe Caden Smith can find a role on this team.
Because
maybe they see his talent.
Said Evan Ingram is not DJ's type of tight end.
He's not. To be honest with you.
I said Caden Smith is. Him and Caden Smith had chemistry out the rip.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
I
appreciate
1,000.
that.
I want DJ to be our guy. He's 6'5", 220. He's fast. He's fearless. I mean, he tries to truck linebackers, which isn't so smart, but it shows confidence and passion. We know he can throw a deep ball. I agree.
Right.
He just needs to shore up them dumb mistakes that he makes. You know, that holding the ball, not moving his feet, not moving around in the pocket. That's what really kills us, his lack of pocket awareness.
Skyler, where you been the last 2 years? When I've been defending this guy.
If they would work on his pocket awareness so that he can feel where the pressure's coming and move and slide and shift to buy time so his receivers can get open, he would be a much better quarterback. His stats would reflect it exponentially. But he hasn't been taught. Jason Garrett's a fucking bum, and I said it from beginning. I never wanted him here, and he possibly ruined this man's whole career. Thank God we got a Brian Daboll. Hopefully
Thank you.
Kafka can reverse engineer some of this Garrett fuckery that happened, and we can see the real DJ. Excuse my French.
The add on to that, yes, we all know that his pocket awareness needs to go up.
And
But I
not
will say this.
knock on one target. That's
Yeah,
another thing.
I will say this. You have to have a pocket to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if your inside linemen are giving up pressure as well as your tackles are giving up pressure on the outside, where are you going to go? See, I like the way that they build the line. They build the line inside out. So
Right.
you can teach Daniel Jones to step up in the pocket and maneuver in the pocket if your inside linemen are holding their blocks. Now, if your tackles are giving up the goods and he can step up in that pocket and maybe move out, who knows what this kid can do?
Again, that goes with our O-line coach, Pat, because he teaches an inside-out blocking scheme. He clears that center so that the quarterback can step up. He's teaching these guys, he's going to teach these guys how to clear the center of that pocket. DJ's going to have a lot of vision, and if the guys get beat on the edge, he can move up and help those linemen block better. But when you can't do that, you're screwed. We saw that today. Wait till tomorrow when you guys see what Wink does. God, I wish that was out now.
And then we're not even facing Wink Martindale defenses every week. These are normal defense. These are just people just lining up and just bull rushing to the quarterback. It's like we didn't even have any linemen now. You know, I don't.
Hey, be careful. You're going to get me singing.
That's all I can envision with this offensive line, moving bodies out the way and running backs hitting the hole, and us just scoring at will against teams. 11-6. I'm back on my bullshit. In case you didn't know.
You're going to get me singing if you keep playing that music, you know.
And then it's very hard when your center is falling on his ass half the time. It's very hard when your right guard doesn't know how to pick up a stunt to save his life. It's very hard when your left guard doesn't know how to pick up a stunt. And it's very hard if your right tackle can't block anybody. Yeah, his pocket awareness is trash. He needs to move around. What pocket did he have, fellas? When they did block for him, he put up stats, did he not? When that offensive line was blocking in the beginning of the season, no, it was not great, but at least they did well in the pass blocking. He put up stats. He did. So what if these guys build an offensive line to where they can block half decent throughout the whole season? That he's not running for his life every freaking play. What if you get to see Daniel Jones be able to be like, well, shit, okay. Oh, shit, he got beat on the outside. The right tackle got beat a little bit. Let me step up a little bit. Oh, shit, there goes Kadarius Toney, 15 yards. Let's go.
Right.
Probably could turn into a 30-yard play because he juked out two people. Oh, shit, Kenny Galladay, deep dig. Boom, there it go. Because you've seen that he can throw that ball in a small area to Kenny Galladay to where he can get it to him.
Hit that thumbs up for me and hit that subscribe button for me, please. I would greatly appreciate it.
I'd say something even better. What if the red zone becomes a lot better because he can stand there a little bit and find an open receiver? What's going on, Hit
Squad?
What if those receivers get a chance to get into their routes? What if he doesn't have to be a one-read quarterback because everybody's so scared of that offensive line getting them drop kicked in the first 2 seconds that he can read the whole field now? You got to think this kid was making some throws. You can't say he doesn't have talent. Do y'all remember the throw he threw against the Buccaneers to Golden Tate in the back of the end zone to almost tie the game?
Hey, Jeffrey, thank you so much, man.
Yes,
I asked him to sub earlier, and this was his reply.
Yes.
He said, I will. You guys and Chris and Bad Dog are great. Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
That was a great compliment. I greatly appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I asked the chat, do you guys remember that throw that he made to Golden Tate in that back of the end zone when he had a little bit of time to almost tie the game? Many quarterbacks can't do that. You have to be a talented quarterback to throw a pass like that. That pass was on a rope, a dime, and he had it high enough to where that dude underneath couldn't touch it. Can you see this guy? Can you see
Alex
this guy?
Rinaldi, thank you for stopping by. It's my
Yes.
first time I see you in the chat. Please hit that
Alex.
subscribe button and that thumbs up button. Really helps me out. I would greatly appreciate it.
Can you guys imagine him being on those quarterback runs?
Oh man, it's going down. I got the NFL feeling in here. I'm ready to go strap up right now. Blow through somebody.
Can you imagine Daniel Jones having a good offensive line on some of those quarterback runs? Shit, can you imagine Saquon Barkley running with a good inside of the offensive line, and he breaks it to the outside because he has a clear hole up the middle, and he can break it out to the right, and who knows what he can do if you get in the open field and when he's healthy. Shit, that's dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's hard to do something when you don't have the tools to get it done. You can't change a tire if you don't have the tool. If you don't have a jack to jack up the damn truck. Same scenario. You can't be a great maneuver in the pocket if you don't have a pocket.
Facts. I never wanted Jason Garrett here to begin with. I agree with you 100%.
So
Tecmo Bowl ass playbook.
Yeah, real talk. That playbook, man, was terrible.
That playbook was Windows 95.
Right, and it wasn't loading up. So imagine a Brian Daboll and Kafka offense in the red zone.
And it wasn't loading up.
Right, we was running a dial-up offense.
Oh shit! Well, you had to wait for the CDs to come in the mail with the free minutes.
Right. So if Daniel Jones was able to maneuver the ball between the 20s in that damn Jason Garrett offense the way that he was, because we did always move it between the 20s pretty good. It's just that when we got in the red zone, you had dumbass linemen that were undisciplined and dumbass plays. What do you think he could do with a Kafka and Brian Daboll offense that's actually asking him what he likes to do? Let's get some people healthy.
Nah, I don't want Riggs back. I don't give a damn how healthy he is. Keep his ass off my team.
No, Riggs is gone. I said get some people healthy. He doesn't count in that.
As soon as you say healthy,
doesn't know what healthy is.
First name that pops up is him because he's never healthy.
He doesn't know what being healthy means.
I love it. I love it. I hope he develops Ellison Smith, Azeez Ojulari, Quincy Roche, and Carter Coughlin. I hope he develops them guys into a bunch of dogs and we draft two more.
I will say this. I think Ojulari, you're going to see him in multiple positions this upcoming year.
I think
you're going to see him blitzing from the middle of the field. I think you're going to see him blitzing from the outside. They're going to line him up at deep. This week, watch that video tomorrow when it drops. I'm telling you, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
That's why we need some athletic linebackers on this team. Hands down.
Fucking D-line, man, could do a simple line twist, move on our right tackle, and get right by him every fucking time. I'm 5'10", 220, and could probably do better.
Right.
What up, hit squad?
What if OG Bobby Johnson can coach this line up and get people to actually play?
Pause on this comment. I'd like to see more touch on some of his balls. Talk about flag on the comment. Oh shit. And no one talks about his throw to Slayton in his first appearance and how hard of a throw that
Yeah,
was.
that was a hard ass throw. He threw that off his back foot 40 yards.
Nah, I know what you meant. I was just saying that shit sounded funny. How would you guys feel if we took Willis and an O lineman? I'd be pissed. I don't want Willis here at all. It was a waste of a first round pick.
I'm not on the Willis train. Like I said, watch film, don't watch highlights. That's what I say about that. Watch film, don't watch highlights.
He doesn't throw TDs. Even QBs with bad O lines put TDs on the board. Look at his red zone stats.
That's true.
You talking about Willis?
No, you're talking about Daniel Jones.
Nah, Jose
But if
Rosario.
But
I
if
think
your
he's-
play calling sucks and your offensive line sucks and your offensive line gets penalties every time you get down there, what are you supposed to do?
Joey, what up?
All right, my turn. Damn it.
With the sixth pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Daniel Jones, quarterback, Duke.
There. My turn to play some audio. I laughed like hell that
Overtime, the
day. I
Giants
love
beat
that.
the New
thing.
Orleans Saints.
Woo!
And Daniel Jones went off in that game. Yeah, that was a damn good throw too. He threw the go to Tate and he got that touchdown against the Patriots. That was a dime.
Woo! Luca, first time seeing you in here. Lucas. Lincombe Cordasso?
From Brazil. She's
Oh,
been
is
on
that?
here
Oh,
before.
yeah. Okay, I'm
Brazil.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Ah, you didn't think I remembered that, huh, Lucas?
No, he goes salve.
Yeah, those three
Tim
guys
Williams,
will
draft a
definitely
couple
be able to play in
of
Wink
Kenny
system.
and Leo
Sure.
can play in this system. Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, you know what? Let's discuss this even further, okay? Because everyone says Josh Allen was like dog crap his first year, and look what Daboll turned him into. Is DJ better than Josh Allen when he was a rookie?
Actually, he did put up better stats as a rookie. But he doesn't have Josh Allen talent when it comes to arm.
I never said he was Josh Allen, but I'm just saying if he was dog crap, you know,
Hey,
yes,
salve.
Lucas. I just, you know, look, the guy can develop people. Yeah, that DJ one-handed catch. If he doesn't make that catch,
Oh, finally caught the comments up. Thank God.
there you go.
Yeah, and people forget about that Bears. He was getting absolutely knocked out during that pass. And he got it over the Bears defense to Golden Tate in the back of the end zone to make it look like a representable game.
Yep.
The kid has talent, man. You can't deny that. You just can't. And I think a lot of his strip sacks are knocked away if he's not getting killed by the offensive tackle giving up the goods
Right.
immediately.
Right. I think he could definitely manipulate the pocket, Pat, because that last game when we broke down film, we saw him hitching.
Mm-hmm. I would just like to see the guy put up over 20 touchdowns again.
I would
Because
too.
if he puts up over 20 touchdowns and this defense plays decent well, we can get a good 7 to 8 wins. This
Right,
upcoming
500 ball
season.
club. Yep.
Yeah, I think we could do that.
I know I'm thinking
And
old
hell-
school 8-8, and it'll be 8-9, but for me,
And hell, our schedule outside of division is not that great.
Right.
What if they build a team to where they can go 4-2 in the division or 3-3 in the division? I'm quite sure they could beat up on the Lions and those guys and get up to 8 victories for sure.
right, right. But you know, if you guys want to, you know, change it up a little bit here because we've been on this topic for a while. Let's see what Schoen wants to do in free agency. He's not going to go out and get the best guard, the highest priced guard. He's not going to go out and get the highest priced tackle. He's going to get guys in here that the department thinks has some talent, and they can develop it out of a veteran that's been here 3, 4, 5 years. All right. You're not going to see another trade for a second-year guy and hope to hell it's a hit, and it's not. You're not going to see that stuff anymore. But as far as going out and getting talent and free agency, we're done with that. I think you're going to call us the next Green Bay Panther or Green Bay Packers, because Green Bay never goes out and gets free agents.
Yeah, they got the Smith brothers, as they call them, but that was about it.
Right.
Because they knew they needed pass rushers, so that's what they got, and that was the last piece to the team. Because they've drafted so well over the years.
Right. So, I mean, you might get 2-year contracts here, and that's going to be it.
Highlight Tim's comment right there, because that's a very good one. He says, I'm not concerned about the offense with the coaching staff. I'm more concerned with Wink's defensive scheme. I don't think the Giants team has the players to play that aggressive scheme.
Thank you, Tim.
Right.
Thank you, Tim.
That's why I wouldn't be mad if they went defense with the first 2 picks. I'm not going to lie to you.
I got killed for that last night, Tim.
The touchdown to Caden Smith against Washington football team between 2 defenders. Don't forget the Hail Mary to John Ross in New Orleans.
Right. That was nice.
Shit, even 20 plus won't make a lot of fans happy. 30 and they'll say his trade value is high, trade him.
Right.
And on another note, you guys think we need blocking tight end or receiving tight end? Both.
Right.
Yep, both.
And I don't mind the 2 tight end sets, especially in the red zone, because if you look at Kolar, he likes to break those the tight ends, act like they're going to block, and then one will run along the sideline and the other one will slant into the middle. They cross right there, so it's a rub route. Okay. They'll both leave the line, but it's a rub route. But because it's at the line of scrimmage, there's no penalty flag on that play. If it happens 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, then there's a penalty on it. But if they cross right there at the line of scrimmage.
Square. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button if you haven't already. It really helps me out.
Thank you for the new people in the chat.
Well, we have 4 quarterbacks on the roster right now. I don't see 5. If we end up like the Packers, yeah.
What? Be in the playoffs and lose every year? That ain't no better.
No, not going after big free agent signings.
Oh.
Well, you got Weidermeyer, you got Kolar, you got
Jeremy Ruckert,
yeah.
Cade Otton, shit. There's a bunch out there.
Yeah, there's like 11 really good tight ends. Kolar's 11th.
You got Wiley from Cincinnati. He's very good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gotta be able to stay free.
I've been all for that, and people have been killing me because when we do a draft on here, I say take 2 tight ends. Well, we took one. That's good enough. No, it's not, guys. Trust me.
Yeah,
I think Caden Smith should get a shot. I don't think we should draft 2. I think we should give Caden Smith a shot. And
well,
draft
that
1.
would give us 3.
I said we should draft 1 and give Caden Smith a shot.
Okay, then we only have 2.
Yeah.
So you only want to go in with 2 tight ends the whole season?
We can get an undrafted tight end. We can get an undrafted tight end. Yeah, we don't gotta draft 2 of them. God. If we have 2 capable ones.
Perk 2.0.
You just like to argue.
I do.
I don't be up for that shit. I work hard all day. I don't be feeling like arguing with people.
I'm not. It's my feelings. I'm not arguing.
If it just depends on if they like Caden Smith's playability, but he doesn't have any film because he was benched. So he's really gonna have to show something. I don't know, and you can't show anything because camp and everything is after the draft. I would take a flyer on a tight end. I mean, maybe one of those tight ends does become undrafted, to be honest with you. Because if that tight end from Virginia doesn't get drafted, I'm swooping him up. Jelani Woods.
Jake Ferguson.
But it's not like we're saying take 2 tight ends, 2nd and 3rd round. No,
no.
In the 6th round.
Right.
Yeah.
and he'll
Fifth
be
round.
good.
Fifth round.
Yeah, as long as we're not spending our high draft picks for him.
No. I'm thinking
Yeah,
maybe
that's
one
where
with one of our
y'all
third.
getting it misconstrued. You can get tight ends. You can get a tight
Right.
end in the fifth. We could get 2 tight ends in the 5th round with our 2 5th-round picks. And who knows what other picks we may get because they may trade one of the first picks.
Hey, look, I've drafted him in almost all my mock
Me
drafts.
too.
I love Jerome Ford. I think he can come in here and be a stud.
Mm-hmm. I really do. He says
Bills
Bills don't run
No.
a lot of 2 tight end sets. Neither do the Chiefs. I don't think they'll put an emphasis on the backup tight end spot.
King
So
Tone,
out starting tight end will probably come in the draft. Yeah.
King Tone, when I say the Pert theory, I'm saying that how Giants fans were
Wales.
okay, settled with Pert being the starter at right tackle this
I
year.
said they put DJ in a terrible position since he's been here. You guys think it will come from the top down to put DJ in a better position? Well, of course. Before they decide to spend money on him, they need to see what they got in him. And he's coming up real quick on that contract. So
I'll be honest with you. I think they give him his 5th-year option.
I do too. There's talk that they're going to also.
He says Pert was not undrafted. We drafted him in the 3rd round. I think
Yep.
what he was saying is that we were all comfortable with Pert being the backup or the starting right tackle, and look how that turned out.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we had guys that was developing these guys on this staff.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think they called it in, man. I don't think none of those guys were on the same page. To be honest with you.
Do you think that after Judge beat up the offensive line coach, they said, listen, we're just going to do whatever he says so we don't get beat up?
No, I think he fought the offensive line coach like 2 weeks before the end of the season. So, I mean, and he already had checked out. That's probably why they got into a fight, because he already had checked out. And Judge found out about it.
We spoke about that 2 days ago, Blue City. That's why we was talking about we damn sure know we ain't drafted no Malik Willis, because we re-signed Lewerke, we re-signed Clayton Thorson, and we brought Davis Webb back. Add DJ, that's 4 quarterbacks. We ain't drafted no damn Malik Willis. You can kill that shit before the rumors even start.
He says they're not drafting 2 tight ends. Draft 1 and a low-budget tight end with experience in free agency. That can happen.
He says O.J. Howard and Jesse James are free agents.
O.J. Howard would be a good addition, and Jesse James is that tight end. I think we have a Jesse James already in Caden Smith. I'll be honest with you.
Isaiah Likely. I've drafted him in my mock draft too. He's very good. Now watch Ingram go somewhere and be a beast.
Yeah, because he's probably going to be used correctly.
Stephen Bloom says Ingram has no lateral movement skills. Where'd Joe go? Joe.
Oh, I hit the mute. I'm sorry. I'm right here.
He says, I can see them picking up the option. Don't be surprised. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, I can see. I think it's a smart move to pick up the option, because it's only $21 million. If he balls out this year,
I fucks with Tone heavy. Feel me? Let him know Tone won't play that shit.
Right.
Shane's comments is sign that he will not be taking Linderbaum at 5 or 7. No, I don't think Linderbaum will get gone at 5 or 7. I think Linderbaum still be there between 12 and 15. That's just my opinion. To whom? Yo, Pat, how you feel about possibly signing Rob Ryan, Brian Cox, Adam Henry as our coaches, or did y'all address this?
Not thoroughly. I like it. Rob Ryan could come in and he could teach the inside linebackers like he did with Wink last year. Brian Cox, if you don't know who he is, I think he's in the Hall of Fame, or he's a borderline Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he played for the Dolphins and
played for the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always fighting. Number 51 had that big cushion on the back of his jersey. He was always fighting.
Yep. Adam Henry, he was the receivers coach when we had Victor Cruz and Odell
Beckham.
Beckham. So I mean, I'm fine with those guys, man.
Thank you, LA Vince.
Well, let's oh, I'm sorry. Let's not forget Brian Cox has not been coaching for what, 5 years?
Yeah, since 2016, I believe.
Oh,
Since Garrett and Colombo was forced on Judge, I think so.
That also could be misdirection, so that people don't know what he's trying to do.
killed. Yeah.
He said I wore a cowboy collar because of him.
Brian Cox.
We finally got an analytic GM.
We finally gonna have a draft board that doesn't have the magnets.
I'll take a tight end in the third or fourth. I prefer more blocking tight end that can catch 30 to 40 passes a season. Look for a Dawson Knox type instead of a Travis Kelce type.
We're not saying a Travis Kelce type when we're saying a tight end. We're saying
Right.
a dependable tight end. That's what
Right.
he does.
Right.
Those 30 to 40 catches, out of those 40 catches, maybe 15 to 16 to 17 of them are first downs. That's what we're talking about.
Brian Cox was a psycho with that ironing board under his pads. LOL.
Well,
Yeah, Brian Cox was a madman.
That dude was always
not-
fighting.
let's
He
not
was the
forget,
perfect of his day.
you know, the Bills and the Chiefs both like a dynamic tight end. So, hell, for all we know, they might be talking with Evan Ingram.
Man, thank you guys for being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Help me out. I'm at 680, trying to get to 1,000. Still got a little bit of ways to go, but
Yes.
you know, I
I'll
greatly
switch with you.
appreciate you guys for always being here, always
Yeah.
commenting, always supporting.
I'll switch with you. I'm only at 272.
I can
What's
do it
500 look like?
I can do it over. You see this community we got here?
Yeah.
I can do it over again. These guys will still be here.
The fans, those are the guys that make the streams.
That's right. LOL, that magnet comment was such passive shade. I died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's true, though.
Yeah,
What's
y'all
up,
making fun of
guys?
us old farts.
El Capitan Rafael has arrived. Salute to Lou, Big Lou, Hermano, Joel, and Pat.
Huh?
Much love for the hit squad. All
Yes.
right. Appreciate that, Ralph. El
Ralphie,
Capitan.
what's going on, Ralphie?
To clarify, I wore a cowboy and was a kicker. Okay. I got you. Thank you
No
for
problem.
live streaming, homies. Always,
Thank you
brother.
for being here.
Being here all the time.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. I can see the Giants drafting 2 defensive players.
I'm
Oh.
telling you,
You mean in the whole
we
draft
did.
or in the first round?
Me and
in the
me
first round.
Pat
I'm
talked
telling you.
about it. Go check out Pat's past live videos. We're on there talking about it.
Finally have a GM that does not use a
Oh,
weed
weed
controller.
control. I'll be right back, fellas.
Wells, appreciate that, bro.
Yes.
The heavyweight champ.
Champion.
Hey,
Yeah.
heavyweight champion of the world says, I agree with Lou when he said 11-6 next season. Great show, smart perspective on the Giants and the game overall, which helps me to do real well
Wow.
with the ladies.
Woo! Yes. Woo!
Thank you for being here, champ.
Yes.
Tahone 23 says, damn, I wish
Yeah.
it was April. I'm excited about the draft again. We never had 2 franchise changing picks. It'll be tough to trade back. I
Well.
think we do it, though. I think we trade that 5 to like 9, 10, possibly 12 and
Yep.
get a first round pick for next year. And of course, the 12th pick this year, a second round, and possibly a 4th rounder this year to add with that first round next year. And that will help us immensely because we can fill a lot of holes this year if we do that. And if you play it right, we can fill them holes with players that will be here for 5 to 10 years at least and produce.
Right.
So Tibbs and Lloyd would be scary, says Steven.
Well, let's talk about something else that comes up quite a bit. I get the question of Lou. I wish I was around to see the old school football. Okay,
Oh, thank
guys,
you, Mr. Tim. Greatly
guys,
appreciate it.
you're witnessing what I witnessed from the late
Please
'70s to
subscribe
the
if you
early
haven't already.
'80s.
Yeah.
You're seeing what I witnessed when George Young came in. Lou,
God.
I'm sure you remember some of that
Yeah.
back in the '80s. And then all of a sudden the team turned around. We went from a disgusting franchise to getting LT, Carl Banks, Phil Simms, Joe Morris, Jumbo
Van
Elliott.
Pelt.
Yeah, Van Pelt, all those guys, Kennard. A good secondary, but that's the way the defenses ran that at that time. You had a fierce front seven with a decent secondary. It was never great.
I think I would rather build a defense than build around Daniel Jones. If they're passing on Willis this year, they might as well go heavy defense because the offense won't be good with DJ and company.
That's yet to be seen.
Yeah, that's a matter of opinion.
Right.
All we've seen is a bad DJ because all we've had is a bad line. Now, if you improve
Or
this
scheme.
line, and DJ improves and goes through the roof with stats, you might be singing another tune by December. So you got to give him a fair shot first. It's kind of unfair to assess him when he's had a shitty old line, no protection, and 3 horrible offensive schemes.
Yeah.
But that's just my
back
opinion.
on what I was talking about, you're going to
Hold
be
on,
able to tell your kids.
Some of these. Let me catch up on some of these. I heard
Okay.
Panthers like Pickett. Could we trade with them? They're only behind us one spot, so I don't know. And they don't have no draft capital. They traded. They don't even have the first 3 picks. I don't think.
Yeah, they don't have a pick till the 4th round.
I see Lou rocking the Red Giants jersey. Yes, sir. I like GM Joe positional value. Okay.
Yeah.
In the first round. He was answering my question about throughout the draft or in the first round.
Right.
We need to bring them red jerseys back. Yeah, that was the alternative jerseys. History repeats itself if you let it, good or bad.
Oh,
True.
Another good
Indeed.
name right here. With Advance, Mark
Advance,
Collins.
Mark
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player.
Please don't prey on DJ downfall. No, I'm not. I'd rather we make the color rush in home and away as primary tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
We need to free up cap, maybe get rid of Logan Ryan and get some O-line free agents. Well, I think Logan Ryan, Jabril Peppers, and Bradbury will be gone.
Martinez.
That's just my opinion. What'd you say?
Martinez.
You think so?
I think Blake Martinez. Look, you watch that video tomorrow me and Pat are putting out, and then you'll understand why. I don't want to ruin it. Believe me, I'm sitting here biting my tongue on a lot of this stuff.
Eli Manning is sending bar workers to the Super Bowl and working their shifts. What the?
Yeah.
Who's the hottest NFL wag? The hell is a wag?
I know what a swag is. That's a stupid wild ass guess.
What
But
the hell is a wag?
Woman and girlfriend, wife and girlfriend. Who's the hottest NFL wife and girlfriend? Maybe.
I don't know. I watch football, not plus one.
Right. Yeah, swag is stupid wild ass guess.
I don't know what the hell that means. I can't even.
I said woman and girlfriend.
Who's the hottest NFL?
They did a thing on Twitter with all the women that
woman analysts. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't.
Who has the hottest NFL swag?
No, it says who's the hottest NFL wag. I don't know what the hell that means. We need to get back to the Giant Stadium, not no MetLife Stadium.
Stuff we all get.
Steve Jones, Logan Ryan has a heavy dead cap hit if we cut him. Greg Jackson, Myron Guyton, Tito Wooten. Wow.
Oh, yeah, wow. He's going back in time.
Oh, swag. Okay.
No, he's Swag
LOL,
is
Joe
wives
never
and
heard that from
girlfriends.
swag. Stuff we
Yeah,
all get.
I was right.
Swaggy's wives and girlfriends. You had it right.
Yeah, see, old man knew it. But you know what, guys? Like I was saying there earlier before we got caught up on the comments, you're witnessing history. You're going to be able to tell your kids Giants football was rough for 15 years. Then all of a sudden, we got it turned around. You're witnessing history right now as a fan, as a franchise. Everything that you're watching from here on out.
Well, nobody thought Josh Allen was good neither, and look how he turned out after a few years of under Daboll. So let's give it a shot before we condemn the kid. If he
Right.
sucks, then you trade back that 5th overall pick for a 9 or a 10 overall pick, and you got a 1st round pick next season coupled with your regular 1st round pick, and you can go and get a quarterback then. But if you build an O line and a defensive front, then there's no excuse. If he falls on his face flat, you go get the guy that you need and you bring him into a foundation, a team
Right.
that has
That's
an
all
offensive
we've been
line and
saying.
a defensive front, and you can move forward from there.
At the worst, Daniel Jones is our stopgap QB, and he's the
I've been
best
saying that
stopgap
for
QB
like
that we
4
can
or
get
5
right
months
now.
now. And these guys right here will tell you, I've been saying the same shit. I've been screaming the same shit. I said, we don't need to draft a quarterback. We need to
Right.
build this O-line and build the trenches. And then if he falls on his face at the end of this season, you got your draft capital to go
What?
get what you need. And you
What if
bring
he
him into
doesn't?
a
What if
good
he doesn't
position.
Eli and wins us a title?
Because everybody likes to say that Cincinnati turned everything around in one season, but
It's not
they
true.
drafted Joe Burrow and a few players, and it was about 3-4 seasons of drafting and trading that got them to where they are now. So yo, what up, boys? What up, Jeff Riggs? People DJ was 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, QB with Eric Flowers as our left
Right.
tackle. I think we can get
Good
back to that
point.
with a good O line. He just got to work on his pocket presence. His fumbles killed us. I agree. No argument there. What up, Jeff?
Man, shout out to the 32 people
The
watching
king of
right
the
now,
smoke screen,
man.
Right.
Captain
Thank you.
Riggs.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Greatly appreciated. We need some dogs like Brendan Jacob and Amar Bradshaw. I feel Barkley's a bit soft.
Oh,
I can't even argue with you on that one, bro. As much as I like Barkley, I'm wearing a Barkley jersey right now. I can't even argue with you.
oh.
I still don't want to trade him though. I think we should use him as
I knew that. I don't dare say anything because I don't want to be argumentative.
Steve Jones. Give me a break.
Oh God.
Steve Jones about to set loose.
Ah.
Wife and girlfriend.
Now, if that stat is
Actually,
true,
he
that's
had Nate
impressive.
Solder at left tackle, not Eric Flowers.
That's even worse.
I'm looking at his stat right now.
Thank you, Tony.
1 sack in his last 462 pass blocking snaps, and they got a photo of Thomas underneath of it. 1 sack in his last 462 pass blocking snaps.
Pretty damn good.
That's top 5, isn't it?
Somebody screenshot that because if DJ turns out to be a beast, I want that receipt.
So if they're going to keep him, they might as well tank and trade and cut everyone. Get the number 1 pick because we ain't winning jack shit with Jones. Just my opinion, fellas.
Huh?
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, sir.
Right.
And you're at the right place to voice it and talk about it and discuss
Right.
it. This is what we
Not
do.
gonna-
I mean, you can't bash him for that because we haven't won jack shit with him. It's a
Right.
You
fact.
sure haven't. True indeed.
I just say I want to see the kid with the offensive line and a system. That's all I say. Let's see what he got.
I mean, because guys, we witnessed that when Eli Manning got drafted. After the second year, everyone wanted his ass gone.
Simone says we're gonna get better. The Giants won a championship in
That's
every
true.
decade since the 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010. So we're due for one in the 20s. Damn right.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. Good stat.
Yo, can't come on tonight, but wanted to say what's up. Hit the thumbs up, Blue Crew.
What's going on, Miz?
Miz.
What up,
Congratulations
Tony? What up,
on getting your
Miz?
CDL too.
Oh, he did? That's what's up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is now a steering wheel holder. That's what we're called, man. Is do we hold that's all that job entails. That's all I was told. Did it for 20 plus years, but everyone told me all I did is hold the steering wheel.
I think he's gonna drive school buses.
Oh God.
He's a better man than I am. There ain't
He
no
ain't
way
got
in
the
hell.
patience for that shit. Man's gonna choke a kid out.
Right.
First kid that don't sit down and start throwing shit around on the bus. I can see it now.
Right.
Didn't I tell you sit down, you little motherfucker?
Oh, geez.
If we win the title, Joe will release a New York Giants greatest hits album.
Man, I'm not buying that album.
Nah, congratulations.
Wait, what? What? You were right. What? I'm hurt. Oh, I'm hurt.
Oh shit. Papa, what's good, family?
What's going on, Papa?
Papa, I haven't seen him
That's
in a
my
while.
cousin. That's literally my cousin.
Yo, what's going on, cuz?
Thank you. Wasn't an easy morning, but worth it. My buddy was a school bus driver at one point. Not the DC sniper, was it?
No.
That guy had the pallet, didn't he?
Mid school bus adventures.
Oh shit.
Shit.
The magic school bus.
I want to hear Miz sing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round."
Oh God. Yeah, school bus 5 minutes from my house in my neighborhood, Union, and pays pretty well. 1 hour in the AM, 1 hour, 2:30 to 3:30. Can't pass that up in between gym time. Lunch shower. Yeah. He said, hot damn, Pat just hurt Joe's feelings.
Man,
yes, he did.
Huh?
Not buy my album. Can't rely
He said
on
he's
your
not
buddy.
buying your album.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Yeah,
album.
Is that why you over there crying?
Yes. Yes, I'm hurt.
Well, why don't you cry about it? Saddlebags.
I am.
There's no crying in baseball.
This ain't
Right.
baseball.
He said
That
with
was my
Jones'
kid.
injury history and neck, he might not have the chance to fall on his face. Don't believe that neck injury stuff, man. That kid's just fine.
People say
Right.
trade
Says
Tony.
NYG.
Barkley.
Hey, shout out to NYG 22 though, man. That guy
You're
is in the
right.
comments in every stream, bro. I
Right.
appreciate everything that you do. We may not see eye to eye, but damn it, you're gonna voice your opinion, and that's what I
Well,
love about you.
Here's the
He says
thing
people-
about this. I'd really love to answer this. Go if you want to read it out.
He says people say trade Tony, Barkley, and Kenny Galladay, but give DJ.
Hey, go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, I had it
You
up there
said-
forever.
He says give DJ one more year. Like what the hell he gonna do with no weapons but an average O line? Like we know we not turning this line into a top 10 O line in 23. We're not saying turning into a top 10 offensive line. I said top 20, which is
Right.
decent. And those Tony, Barkley, and KG trade rumors, those are just rumors. Just to be honest with you.
Well, look, is there a better option out there right now that's going to win us 8, 9, or 10 games than DJ?
Read that count.
The
Throws
first
up
time
on the
kid throws up on the bus, I can hear Miz, oh shit, get rid of him.
Right.
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 Fuck him.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
NYG, what realistically you think Brett Bridgewater is that much better?
No.
Do you really think that Mitch Trubisky is that much better?
Nope.
I mean, who is out there that you could bring in? Fitzpatrick? The guy's been in the league 16
Fitztragic?
seasons.
Fitztragic? No,
I see everybody saying not to trade DJ, okay? DJ has no trade value at all. If we've got our fans sitting in here calling him trash, how can you expect another team to give us even a second round pick for this guy? If you think he's Danny Fumbles, Danny whatever, Danny Hurt, whatever nickname you have for him, who are you going to replace him with? Because a lot of the fans said that Glennon was better than DJ. We need to get him out there. Glennon got out there, and holy shit. But then it was Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm had one good drive. Well, we need to get this kid out there. Dude, he is a true rookie. Don't matter. Get him out there. He had a good drive, and his confidence went downhill like crap. Now he sucks. People were crying for DJ to come back with 2 or 3 weeks left in the season to see some decent football. I've seen Bridgewater give up in games. You know, Deshaun Watson's not cleared. Do you want to give up our draft capital to get
give me
Russell
a second,
Wilson? You know, okay, so then we're not drafting anybody. And we've got a GM right now that says he's not going to go out and make a splash for anybody. So just you know, how are we going to replace a quarterback that has the potential of putting up a 90-plus QB rating for 5 weeks in a row? And then his left tackle goes down, and it still wasn't the same. With a scheme that was completely freaking horrible. That's the question, okay? So a running back you can replace, a wide receiver you can replace, a quarterback you can't replace. Not that easy. Look at all the teams that are scrambling for a quarterback. Look at the teams that are going to take some of these quarterbacks this year because they have that need. The Washington football team, the Commandos. You got the New Orleans Saints that is looking for a quarterback. You got the Houston Texans might be looking. You got God only knows what's going on with the Cardinals. Is Kyler Murray even coming back? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That whole situation. I don't understand that. Like,
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking for a quarterback now. The Carolina Panthers are looking for a quarterback now. The Atlanta Falcons might be looking for a quarterback. Detroit might be looking for a quarterback. Is Daniel Jones better than those guys? Or is he worse?
Eli came in with the line intact. Barber, Shockey, and Toomer, their situation was not the same.
I agree.
I say keep Jones for a bridge and draft Willis, but it looks like that's not going to happen, so you might as well trade him and tank so you can get a QB in 23. That's my position. You're not going to sign him.
You want to watch what we saw the last 4 weeks of the 5 weeks of this last season?
Was take Jones off the field. Last 5 games might have saved his life for real.
Yeah.
I could not. There's no way I could watch a season of football that we watched the last 4 or 5 weeks of this season. I could not take that. I couldn't.
Says Tony and Barkley have more upside.
But damn it. Here.
Tony and Barkley have more upside where if they can stay healthy.
Give me a second, fellas. Hold it down.
Yep.
Galladay, I think, doesn't fit this system on offense and also getting close to 30/injuries. I mean, yeah, that's true. He says, Jeff also says, either way, after 2022, very likely Jones, Barkley, Galladay, Slayton, Shepard, maybe even Tony could all be gone in the 2023 offseason. That's true, Jeff. Ned says, stop with the Willis, please. Like, man, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it either. So you're not
because
alone.
with the Willis thing, it's like you guys are just being hyped up. Like everybody's always hyped up about a quarterback. Yes, he's electric. I get it. He's electric. But he has some of the same issues that you're killing Daniel Jones about.
He's definitely a one-read quarterback. He is a true one-read quarterback.
And then if we draft Willis and he doesn't turn out to be what you think he's going to be, it's going to be even worse on this franchise. And we're going to be doing this all over again.
Because you're going to blame the staff for not doing it right, or it's not Willis, it's the staff, it's the coaches. You got to coach that into them. Even though the Browns went through a quarterback a year for 20 years.
Like, I don't understand it, man. This kid has really never had a chance on this team. I don't know. He says, I don't know what to think or say with Willis. Feels like all hype. Same with Pickett.
Right.
He says, King Tone says he shrinks in big games. Stats kind of prove that. 7 touchdowns to 13 interceptions against teams that were FBS. He says, Pat about Willis, people are driving 90 miles per hour in dense fog. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Willis is a scrub. People need to stop and watch full games and mechanics. He's not a scrub, Steven, but he's not what they think he is.
Right.
But he's not a scrub. If he goes to the right system, he needs time. He needs time. And we're just not in a position to do that. That's the only thing I'm saying about the kid. We're not in a position to do that. We're not. We don't have the veteran quarterback here. You said DJ is trash. What is he going to learn from DJ then? Super Tired says DJ is the underdog. I hope he comes out to prove a lot of people wrong.
Right.
NYG22, he says he's not good, guys. Y'all cherry pick a game here and there to prove your point. You can like him, but he's not good. 4-game stretch, okay, all QBs hot here and there. Top QBs are consistent. That is true. But top QBs have a decent offensive line, and they have their weapons with them for most of their games. They do. They just do, man. This kid is, man, just circumstances have killed this kid. Right. But I understand where you're coming from, NYG. Real talk.
I do too.
He says everything with Riddick is personal. He said, unless Daboll / Shane believe if they can fix the O-line, they give Jones, Barkley, Tony, Galladay, Slayton, maybe even Shepard one last shot to see if they're here long term. Their ass is gone in 2023. All of them, well, Shepard I know is pretty much gone. Right. But yeah, you're right on that. He says most should be gone, but understand why they could still be here, minus most likely Shep. Yep. Right. He says, I am hype about what our coaches can turn them into. Gotta be forward thinking. We're doing the same thing with Daniel Jones. What if they fixed his offensive line and Daniel Jones has a chance, and now he shows you that he could be a good QB in this league? Then what? Is it the fact that it's Daniel Jones? Because I'm telling you, I don't think people want to be wrong about this kid, and I think it scares a lot of people.
I do too.
He says, Giants clown. Trubisky, Tannehill, and Jimmy G are all better than Jones, and I have more equity. Trubisky did the same thing over there in Chicago, and he was the number 2 pick. But you give props to Trubisky and not Daniel Jones.
Right.
Okay? Nobody wants to give DJ a chance because he hasn't shown he can thrive in those positions, but he's fighting, he's tough, and shows talent. True. His squad, he says, I think Willis will be a good QB. I don't think he's a running back at quarterback at all. He's not Lamar, but the kid has potential to be really good. And yes, I have said that.
Yes.
But he needs time.
Right.
Do you really think that they'll be able to sit Malik Willis behind Daniel Jones for a full year? If you do so, you need to think a little bit harder. He says Willis can't read defenses. He passes to one receiver who the play is for. You can see it in his highlights. Yes, he does. He does do that. Giants client says last 4 or 5 weeks were brutal, but we weren't scoring with Jones either. But we weren't doing that.
Yeah.
We weren't doing that. You had hope with Daniel Jones. I don't care what anybody says. He says, you think Houston's O-line is decent? Davis Mills outperformed DJ, but Houston has a better scheme than what we did. And Houston had coaches that were on one accord.
Right.
This man was going through Jason Garrett's system. Nobody was on one accord. The offensive line coach checked out. The offensive coordinator wanted nothing to do with Joe Judge. Joe Judge wanted nothing to do with the offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator was probably the only consistent thing on this team.
Why the defense looked good.
Why you think they fired the receivers coach? Why you think all defensive line coaches are back? Why you think the offensive line coaches are back? Why you think the receivers coaches are back? Why you think the tight ends coaches are back? Why you think linebackers coaches aren't back? The staff suck, man. It's just honest. He says the coaching staff gives us some hope, but man, all these guys with their major injury issues make my confidence on all these guys very, very low. I can accept that. Miz, he says, I think the spot for Willis is Steelers because Tomlin and strong D. That could be very good. Heavyweight Champ says, like Pat said, watch film and not the highlights. By the way, that's what helps me do well with the ladies. Woo! Tell them, Lou. That's what I say, NYG22. I want you to just look at his film. Just put Patrick Willis versus. Don't go to Patrick Willis highlights. Everybody's highlight makes them look like
$1 million.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. It makes them look like $1 million. Watch film. Do you think these stats are good against good teams, against FBS teams? Malik Willis threw 7 touchdowns and 13 interceptions with like a 54 completion percentage against those guys.
Yeah.
Tell me if you like those stats against good teams. That's not saying that he's a horrible quarterback and you want to mount to anything. I'm saying he's not the right fit for us right now. If we had an offensive line and Daniel Jones was just playing that sorry with the offensive line and with the foundation, hell yeah, I would say draft Willis. But we have no foundation. You don't know what Daniel Jones is because we don't have a foundation for him. That's all I'm saying, NYG22. Love you.
Right.
Jeff says, Willis to me is Lance or Hurts, a guy that needs to develop a season or two. Yes. Willis has a cannon and is excellent, not elite athlete. That's where the positive stop. He's going to need 2 years just to fix bad habits. Yeah. Tim says, Trubisky is it better than Jones? Same with Pickett, Giants clown. Exactly. What's going on, Viz Edits? Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Viz.
Doing okay. He says Trubisky and Jones in terms of stats may be closer together, but in terms of upside, Jones has more, way more, Jeff. Miz says, guys, Jones is miles better than any QB in this coming draft, and honestly, it's not close. I can get with that a little bit as well. I just see a lot of flaws with these quarterbacks as I watch film. He says, man, all this talk about Barkley going to the Bills is bullshit, capping their ass off. They may be.
Right.
But don't be surprised if it does happen. I'm not saying they should do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Viz Edit says Jones is better than everyone except Willis. Okay.
What's up, Viz Edits? Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Yeah.
He says Trubisky went to the playoffs. That Bears team was a Super Bowl ready team when Trubisky was there. That defense was amazing with the Bears when he was playing there. They were winning games 13-12, 17-13, 14-10. Those guys, that defense out there was vicious. Trubisky was the only thing that held them back. He says, do you watch film on Jones? Because I don't see what y'all seeing that makes you want to make Jones the guy. For 4 years of tape, you still don't know what you have. Oh, and Willis did more with a bad O-line.
Well,
When he played against good teams, you can do that against Old Dominion. When he played against good teams, look up his stats when he played Ole Miss, and then get back to me, NYG22. That man against FBS teams threw 7 touchdowns, 13 interceptions with a 50-something percent, 53 to 54% completion percentage against those teams. Say what you want to say, but those were the stats against those FBS teams. And they weren't even the best FBS teams. It was Army.
All right.
Viz Ed's even talking about the missed game. They got dogged on. Yeah.
On a side note, can this James Harden and Ben Simmons trade drama end? Pissing me off. And Nets suck ass right now.
I don't know. I don't watch basketball.
Wells, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Only
right there.
concern is Willis played against no competition. When he played against Ole Miss, they got dogged on. Yeah,
Man,
Pat.
they got drugged, man.
Yeah, he had no
Some of
answer
y'all
at
don't
all.
understand how bad Garrett's scheme was. Garrett likely will never coach in the NFL again. And to be honest, if you ask me, I think he was sabotaging Judge so that he can get the head coaching job. And I think Judge knew it, and that's why Judge wanted his ass gone.
Right.
Chillaxing and vibing. How about you? I want to win.
He beat the Saints.
You can say the same thing about Jones. What top team has he beat?
He beat the Raiders and they made the playoffs.
Army doesn't have an NFL athlete.
Carolina was on fire, and we went in there and beat those guys. They had a top 3 defense.
Finally, temperatures in the 30s. Heat wave up north.
Right.
Time Nets fans hitting the panic button. Well, I'm not a Nets fan. I'm a Knicks fan. Just because the New Jersey Nets went to Brooklyn don't mean I jump ship. If Willis was white, would certain people on YouTube be pushing him to the Giants so intense? What the hell is that?
I think he's just a talented guy. He is a talented guy. Black, white, doesn't matter. He's talented.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what melanin or no melanin he has in his epidermis. That matters not to me, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. We're all going to become dust, and worms are going to eat on our corpses.
Yeah. That grave is the same size last I checked.
Damn right. Nets losing makes my Knicks heart hurt less. Lakers panicking.
Yeah, Lakers are terrible.
The difference is Willis is in college, and we all admit he's raw. Jones is a 3-year vet.
That's true, but the kid has really never had anything around him as far as.
Let me tell you something. I think Ole Miss would have smoked the shit out of the Giants too. So
he says, don't take that the wrong way, but it has to be said because I know a bunch of guys out here that know nothing about Willis other than his race. Sorry, facts. It could be, but that's not here.
Right.
We know what the guy is. I won't give a damn if he was white as a chalkboard. The kid has talent. But
just
only
not
thing
enough for us.
And it's really not that, Lou. It's just that we're not in a position to do it. We have no foundation for the kid. We have none.
F. Willis, you immediately have a video. What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
You really think that you will be able to sit Malik Willis for a full year behind any quarterback here? No way. No way. You're going to want that kid to play immediately because you wouldn't be pushing for him that hard if you didn't want him to play immediately.
Look what the fans did with Fromm.
Viz Edits disagrees with you, Miz. He said, bro, what? I had to read it with emphasis so you can understand the context in which he typed it. The Raiders game was won by the defense. Keep it a buck, fellas.
How many other teams win with their defense? Look at what Miami did to the Ravens.
Jones was a 0-star prospect who went to Duke. If you guys believe he has a chance to be a franchise quarterback, that's disturbing. I never said he was a franchise quarterback. I said the quarterbacks coming out of this draft class don't impress me at all to waste a first-round pick on them. I would much rather – hold on. I would much rather build our shitty-ass ranked 31st offensive line, trade back our number 5 pick to our number 9 or 12 overall, somewhere in between there, still get a good offensive lineman or edge rusher at about 10 or 12, get a first-round pick for next season, because I'm assuming that he's not going to do that well, but I would still rather fix the trenches and go for a quarterback next year, because none of these guys, again, none of them impress me. Not one. I don't think they have the skills. If you ask me, within 2 to 3 years, every quarterback that gets drafted this year will not be in the league.
keep that on this question for a minute. I know Pat has something to say.
I'm just saying, do you think that we would be saying the same tune if there was a quarterback like Justin Herbert coming out this year?
Hell no. If there was a Justin
Exactly.
Herbert in this draft, I'd throw DJ in the dumpster myself.
Right. And guess what? If there was a quarterback like Justin Herbert coming out this year, you'd be saying we can't get him because the Lions would be taking him at number 2.
I want to ask the chat something here on this. If Justin Fields was coming out right now, would he be the number 1 quarterback? If Trey Lance was coming out right now, would he be the number 1 quarterback?
In this draft class? Fuck
In
yeah.
this draft
Hell
class.
yeah.
Okay. How about Mac Jones? Because everyone poo-pooed
Hell
him.
yeah.
All right. We know Trevor Lawrence would be the number 1 quarterback coming out, correct?
Yep.
Right.
All right. How the hell did they do with the teams that they're at, which doesn't have an offensive line? Look at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. How many years is he going to struggle? Trey Lance couldn't beat out Jimmy Garoppolo, who everyone says is trash. Fields was getting the shit beat out of him in Chicago because they got no offensive line. Trash.
And he got hurt.
Right. Who's better offensive line right now? Those teams I mentioned or the New York Giants? Trash. You think Malik Willis can do anything here for the next 2 to 3 years?
Listen, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, right? You can take the GOAT, Mr. Tom Brady, okay, and you put him against a defense that gets back there and he turns to shit. You know how I know? The Giants did it to him twice in 2 Super Bowls. We sent dogs at him and the GOAT lost, which proves that if you don't have an offensive line to protect your quarterback, it doesn't matter how great he is. You can bring Malik Willis here now. He can be phenomenal. And with a shitty offensive line that we have, he's going to bomb. And then by week 9, 10, oh, he's a bust. So it's pointless to waste the draft pick. I'd rather fix the offensive line and the defensive front. And if or when Daniel Jones falls on his face, we'll have 2 first-round picks next year to go get a quarterback that is worthy of the title of quarterback in the NFL, because none of these guys are it. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying DJ is Joe Montana or none of that shit. I'm just saying he's better than the guys coming out of this damn draft.
Right. And I'm saying you already got your stopgap quarterback on your team. Let DJ get his ass whooped if that's what it takes. And, and right here, NYG's latest comment, Lou, he says, you guys want can't miss prospects. That means you don't trust the GM/coaches to develop the talent. He says, what the fuck we hire them for? Y'all got to judge Gettleman shot and I never said ignore the O-line. Bro, if you were with us earlier in the season, me and Joe were the main ones saying that you have to develop talent.
Yes.
And we were the ones that were cool with Ojulari not getting that many snaps and Kadarius Toney not getting that many snaps in the beginning of the season because you said we have to build these guys up. You're looking exactly at what Malik Willis will be if we draft him here. Daniel Jones. You know why? Because if you pick Malik Willis, there's no way possible in hell that kid's going to sit behind Daniel Jones a full year. No way in possible hell. This fan base will go absolutely train wreck if he throws 2 incomplete passes in the preseason. Do you know the implications of drafting Malik Willis here, what that means? That means Daniel Jones, you already say he sucks. He's a fumble machine. He's trash. He's terrible. 4 years of no footage. So if he goes out there and has 1 bad game, what do you think the fans are going to do with that kid? What do you think they're going to do? Put in Malik Willis. We want Malik Willis. We want excitement. We want electricity. We want excitement. Put in Malik Willis. Oh, my God. Mayor, you must be a racist. You're not putting in Malik Willis over Daniel Jones. And guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to force that kid to go in there when he's not ready.
Stephen A. came on here and spoke the truest shit you ever seen. Look at that comment right there.
That's right.
Boy, I'm telling you. What's up, Zion? Let's get it.
NYG 22, you name one situation where Malik Willis is able to sit a full year. The only way Malik Willis is able to sit a full year is we go to the playoffs and we're like 12-5 and Daniel Jones throws 40 touchdowns.
Right.
And guess what? Now you done drafted Malik Willis for no reason.
I never said that. I never said get defense in the 2 top picks. I've been screaming O-line since last offseason. Anybody who watches my channel knows I've been screaming O-line. I've made hog molly videos left and right. I've been screaming O-line for 9 months.
You don't have to address the O-line in the first round if you get the free agents. And we have people that have a track record of finding O-linemen between the 3rd and 5th rounds.
New regime.
That's what we're saying. New regime. They know how to scout linemen now.
Oh, word? You sleep?
All we're doing is trying to think like them. We're not trying to say,
Miz said we put him to sleep.
We're not trying to say we need to draft 2 offensive linemen. We're just going over the assumption of what this new GM and staff could possibly do. That's all. It's speculation. Nobody outside of the people in that front office right now have any idea what this draft is going to even look like. Close comparison. We could sit here and say, we need this, we need this. We're not at the combine. We're not in the war rooms. We're not in there with the interviews when they have these guys in that room for 15, 20 minutes, however long it is. We're not there when these guys come to the stadium and do a visit so that they can get a deeper discussion. We're not over there with the analytics. All right. We're not looking. We have no idea their conditioning. We don't know. There's a lot of false positives that go on in the draft because these guys will not drink water when they weigh in, but then they'll pound 2 or 3 gallons of water after the 40-yard run because the water is weight. They're dehydrated when they run these goddamn times to put up impressive numbers. They do that wrestling trick. They spit in a goddamn cup and lose a pound.
Listen, I'm inclined to agree with you, Giants clown. Right? What I'm saying is we know that none of these guys coming up in this draft are neither. So why trade out one who you know ain't that dude for another guy who you know ain't gonna be that dude? I would rather hold on to this one, fix what's wrong around him, and then go get the guy we want and bring him into a good, stable position and set him up to win. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying DJ is great. I don't call him Danny Dimes. I call him DJ. So my point is try to improve on him while you have him and then go get the guy later after you fix this horrible situation that he's been in.
Would you rather bring in a guy like Patrick Mahomes was brought in or like Justin Fields was brought in? Your choice. You want him to come to a pre-made team?
There's no quarterbacks out here that are that dude. If there was a Justin Herbert, even Prince Charming or Justin Fields or
Joe Burrow,
or a Herbert, yes, I would say take one of those guys because I know that once the talent gets around him, it's a wrap. That dude's going to win games. None of those quarterbacks you can say that for. If Malik Willis wasn't running all over the field, you wouldn't say anything about him.
And
you wouldn't say anything about him if he wasn't doing those little exciting plays against Old Dominion and them. You wouldn't say anything about him. I'm not saying the kid is bad. I said we're not in a position to do that because we've done it already. You've seen it happen already. When we drafted DJ, we had no foundation for the kid. Week 2, he was forced into the game because Giants fans. Eli's washed. Put in Daniel Jones.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
You don't think they're going to do the same thing with Malik Willis?
I want to see all the fan base that was buying that Tank for Tua chat there for a while too. We almost wound up with Tua.
There's no way possible you could give Malik Willis the care and the knowledge that he needs to go in there and do things, because we're not in that situation. Malik Willis as a backup quarterback is not going to work. DJ, if he throws one incompletion in the preseason, these fans will be screaming for Malik Willis. Daniel Jones, we start out 0-1. Give us Malik Willis, Malik Willis, Malik Willis. Put him in. And then when the kid gets in there, he throws 2 to 3 interceptions because he has to learn a whole new system. And he may make a play or two with his talent. What do you mean Allen, Mahomes, and Rodgers was a can't miss prospect? Maybe Allen, but Mahomes and Rodgers? Are you crazy? They said those guys were can't miss when they came out. And guess what? They got the opportunity to sit and learn behind Brett Favre and Alex Smith, and he had Andy Reid as his coach.
You know, I how come Kenny Pickett's not getting more talk? He played at Pitt. He played tougher competition. He's got a big arm. He can move in the pocket. We watched him when he played at Syracuse. I remember watching that game. How come Pickett's not getting the same love? You want to talk about comparing somebody to Justin Herbert? Kenny Pickett's right there with Herbert. If you want arm strength,
then
talent
the
that
fans
could be
gonna
had,
cry.
why is it just Willis?
Then the fans gonna cry and call him a bust because he doesn't play well. And then boom, whole process repeats again. Then they're gonna say, oh well, the offensive coordinator sucks, the head coach sucks, we should fire him. Then the shit repeats.
Right. That's my fear of what's going to
We're all
happen.
here for one reason, for the love of football. Damn right, LA Vance.
Right. And that's all this is football talk.
I
Because
said there's
Daniel
a chance
Jeremiah-
they can go defense if they sign free agent linemen.
Daniel Jeremiah's got Pickett ranked 9th. He's got Malik Willis ranked 32nd or 33rd. That's from everybody that you all follow. That's the experts on TV. Kuiper's just about the same way. Christ, these guys, we have Linderbaum in the top 10. These guys have Linderbaum going at 30. We've been pounding the table for Linderbaum at 5 and 7. These draft experts don't have him going until the 30th pick.
And then if these quarterbacks were those dudes, you don't think they will be mocking these quarterbacks to us? They're not even mocking quarterbacks to us.
Right.
That's how bad these quarterbacks are coming out this year. They're not even mocking quarterbacks to
Good
us.
point.
You don't think if there was a Justin Herbert or somebody there, or a Trey Lance or somebody there, they wouldn't be mocking them to us every mock draft? That should tell you how many questions these guys have.
Hey, you know what though? Part of that is true. NYG 22. Gettleman was so bad, you scared to take a chance. Part of that is true.
Not with the quarterback. On other things, maybe, but not with the quarterback. If Justin Herbert or somebody, that dude or Joe Burrow was coming out, I would say take a quarterback right now and get off his alignment with the first pick. But I know all these guys have a huge learning curve, and we don't have the foundation to do it. Justin Herbert and them doesn't have a huge learning curve. You put pieces in front of them, they're going to make it work. Joe Burrow, they put pieces in front of him, and to the outside, he made it work.
What's up, Logan, a.k.a. Stephen A? No, that's you. Gettleman said a lot of dumb shit, but he did get one thing right. Drafting the wrong QB puts you in QB hell, and here we are.
And you want to turn around and draft another quarterback with no foundation? It doesn't make sense.
He said, who cares?
Hey,
he done with the conversation.
You know what? NYG, it's all love. Thank you very much. I appreciate that last thing you just did. He says, I'm watching film and tape now. I don't trust the experts. That's why I watch you guys. The fans got more knowledge than the experts. Y'all my dudes, fist bump. Bro, fist bump right back because I love your
Right.
points. I love your points. You're bringing valid points. This is not an argument. This is one person's passion against another person's, and it's civil. That's what we love here at the Big Blue Crew. Civil discussions, valid points, and respect each other's opinions. That couldn't ask for a better fan base than what we have here. Man, my hat's off to all you guys in the chat because you're all contributors. You all bring the passion, the heat. There's no slander. There's no fighting, no name calling. We got the greatest fans on YouTube, guys.
Give me a break.
No, I'm not going to give you a break. All right. We got the best damn chat and fans and followers. Always commenting. Damn, I'm proud to be a member of this.
I really think Pickett is the best QB in this class. And I'm going to say that the guy from North Carolina, Sam Howell, is right behind him. He says, I love y'all, but I'm tired of our fan base.
Well,
I mean, we're all over the place because we don't have a foundation to root for. Think about it.
We've sucked for 15 years, too.
Right.
Don't forget. So
and that's why we're all over the place. That's why we're angry and mad and sad at all over the place every day because we have no foundation to root for.
Right.
We have PTSD, fellas.
And you know what? That might be the biggest reason why people want Willis here because I think that hurts the Beckham trade the most is because he was so electric. You could watch the game and know a play was coming. You had somebody to root for. You had that one guy on the field that could make a splash, win, lose, or draw. It was mostly lose, unfortunately. But you had that guy on the field, and you always watched him. Everybody that watched the Giants game when OBJ was here, he was the draw.
Brockelson. I want Linderbaum at 5, Karlaftis at 7, and maybe hopefully Matt Corral drops to the second round. Excuse me. Definitely a sleeper. Well, thank you for your take. Please hit that like and subscribe button while you're here. We'd greatly appreciate it. And make sure you come back around. We do this every week, all week long, on one of our 3 channels.
All week long.
Pickett is the guy. Steelers are after Carolina, Denver, all of them. True, but he good. But he had a rough season.
I'll be right back, fellas.
Okay.
If Willis goes to a well-built team that isn't forced to start rookie year, he's going to be good. But y'all can't expect this dude to ball out with a trash-ass team without no line year 1. I agree.
Right.
But I don't think he's that good anyway. So I'm obsessed with Linderbaum. We can have him at 7. My vote is for Joel and Max to be the O-line for our New York Football Giants and G-Nation defensive linebacker. We'd be set.
All right,
Hey.
that worked.
Listen, you put me in linebacker, somebody getting hurt.
I can play center.
Because I'm playing old school football. I'm getting penalties, but people getting knocked the hell out, and I'm separating the ball from the player. It's going to be some fumbles and some
goodness.
interceptions.
Lou Nation's going to go Vontaze Perfect on your ass. Be careful, people.
No, I'm not going to cheat, but I'm going to hit old school.
Oh.
I'm not going to step on people's calves and shit with cleats or nothing like that, but I'm damn sure going to pop the shit out you.
Oh, no, that was oh, God, what was his name? The guy from the Titans that stepped on the one guy's head.
Ndamukong Suh?
No, he went to the Redskins. He got a $100 million contract and then faked injuries for 3 years. Albert Hainsworth. He was known for that.
This dude's still defending Gettleman. Lord have mercy, Miz. Let it go, bro.
Right. NYBSMMS. Welcome. First time I've seen you here. Appreciate you stopping in. I mean, all of this is opinionated. You're absolutely right. Hell, the experts don't get it even right. That's why we trash right now. You're damn right. We're just hoping that this coaching staff can get it right. That's our biggest hope. And I think that's where all the hope is coming from Giants fans right now. The
Yeah,
coaching staff.
I am doing it, Wells.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing it Saturday night. I just haven't made the thumbnail yet. I'll do that after this live.
Oh boy. Do we get to see somebody get knocked out for a change instead of no nut grabbing?
Viz, only people that thought that about Rattler were paid to put that out there. Kids trash. Tudo.
He's going to be a Gamecock now, so he went from Oklahoma to the Gamecocks of South Carolina. So, Tudo!
I mean, all of this is opinionated. Hell, the experts don't even get it right. That's why we trash right now. NYBSMM5.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that for real. Hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up button. We do this all week, every week.
Fist
Bro
the
Colson
hub.
says Pop Smoke. Huh?
Oh, no, he commented again. He says, I'm always in here with you guys. Tana and Bad Dog, Fist, the hub. Man, we're in some high company here. I'm not going to lie.
I just talk shit during my games.
Fat Albert
Hainsworth.
Yeah, that guy was something else.
Oh, okay. He said, Luke, he talking about, because I said if I'm playing linebacker, somebody getting hurt.
Right. I have a water boy moment. Something's wrong with his Abdullah Oblongata.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
That's right. I seen her boobies, and I like them too.
Yeah, motherfucker's crazy.
Dude, that movie was, oh. Devin Lloyd in this defense.
This motherfucker. Yo, Miz. Miz been drinking.
Yeah.
Miz been drinking. Gettleman is the best GM in the NFL.
Mama said, knock you out.
Bro Colson.
That's gonna be the title of my album.
Oh, man. Thank you very much, bro.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, man. For real.
James
I greatly appreciate that.
Best name in YouTube. I'm sorry, guys, but James Earl Moans, that just cracks me up every time I see that man in here. Oh.
I want to see 8-9 wins next season, man. What you guys want to see from the Giants?
I'm thinking I'm right there with you, Jose. I'm right there with you. I think 8-9.
Yeah, I must have motherfucking forgot, boy.
Listen.
11-6.
I just think an identity is really going to help this fan base. We got an identity offensively and defensively. Graham was good, but no identity. I think that's going to really help the fan base get cheered up, not worry about these little things anymore. You know,
I don't think it's going to cost us any draft picks. And I really don't want to have this discussion because to me this shit is ridiculous. And I'm not saying that there's probably not some discrimination in the league because I'm sure there is. So I'm not saying that.
Rick.
What I'm saying is we want to talk about football here. I don't want to talk about none of that shit. I deal with enough of that shit in the world on a daily basis. It's all over the news. It's all over every fucking thing else. I want to talk about football here. So thank you for your comments, your opinions. I respect your ideas and your views, but I don't want to discuss those types of things here. So thank you very much.
Yo, I just want to say one thing about the Daniel Jones, Malik Willis thing, and I'm going to leave it alone.
Oh, no, that's this. I was talking about the Brian Flores comment I just got.
Right.
No, yeah, I know. I just want to say one thing about the whole Malik Willis situation because maybe you guys are getting it misconstrued. You know why I don't want Malik Willis to be drafted here? It's not because I think he's going to be a terrible quarterback. I actually think the kid is going to be good if he has time to sit.
Right.
You know why I don't want Malik Willis to come here? It's because of the hype. You draft that kid here with all that hype, and then you force that kid to go in the game behind a foundation that is nowhere near solid, and he goes out there and he doesn't perform the way that you guys want him to be, you think he's Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson. That's what you think he is. If he doesn't come out there and do Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick things, and he goes out there and he throws 10 touchdowns and 20 picks, the same people that have clamoring for him because of their own selfish reasons, because you want something that you think that you can cheer for, and he goes out there and underperforms, you're going to lambaste the kid. You're going to kill him. And I don't want him to come here because I want him to succeed.
Yes.
There's a difference. I know for a fact that that kid would not succeed here because you will force him to go in there and play. You know why Daniel Jones can be here and play, even though you guys lambaste him every year? It's because Daniel Jones came here with no expectations. He was killed as soon as he came here. You know why I got so much respect for that kid? Because the kid is Teflon.
Yep.
He goes out there and get his ass kicked every
Tell him
freaking
again,
game.
too, though. Tell him again, too, though. Tell them motherfuckers again, too, though. Play
That
that
kid
shit.
goes out there and get his ass kicked every freaking game. And you know what? He keeps coming back.
Hey, thank you. It's a Super Bowl 25 commemoration hat. It's got the Rose Bowl logo, Super Bowl 25.
This kid, when he very first drafted, they said he was a third-round pick. You booed him. You called him trash even before he got on the field. That takes a lot of character and a lot of strength to keep coming back every season, knowing that you don't have anything in front of you and your whole organization is in turmoil. And you keep coming back. You keep coming back. You keep coming back. He keeps coming back every freaking game and gives his all. And you damn right. I want to see what this kid can do if he has an offensive line in front of him. But the main reason why I don't want Malik Willis to come here, because he is a project, and you're going to force that project in just same way you did with Daniel Jones. And I don't think Malik Willis will be able to handle that because he will be so hyped. And it would kill his confidence, and his career will be over in 2 to 3 years. That's why I want Malik Willis to come here, because I want him to succeed. Let him go to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin, foundation, weapons. He can have growing pains over there with Pittsburgh and still survive. It's not going to happen here because there's too much turmoil here, and you fans will push him in there to play, and then the same fans that's clamoring for him be the same fans that lambaste the kid.
All right. Now, thank you, Pat. Rick, Lou, do you honestly think Logan Ryan is the leader of this team? I think it's Crowder. I never said he was the leader of the team. I said he was the oldest tenured secondary player that we had in that secondary group. And I'm pretty sure since he's been there, he's been a captain, as we all know, and he's imparted a lot of his knowledge on the cornerback and safety positions to these younger guys. That's what I said. And I don't think Tay Crowder is the leader of the defense. We all know Blake Martinez was. We all know Blake Martinez was, and then after he got hurt, it was Leo Williams. So, yeah.
That's why I don't want the kid here, because I know you guys will kill that kid's career. The fans alone will kill that kid's career. No way he could come here and sit here a year or two. No way.
That's why I didn't even respond to that shit, King Tone. That was my thoughts exactly. Reek on that ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee, baby. Ooh-wee.
Neither one, LA Vance. It's Pat and then G-Nation.
Oh, gee, thanks a lot. I love you too.
He only named 2.
Oh.
So I gave him 2 names back. You
Well,
want to add a third name?
Well,
yeah, I didn't bring me to PTA yesterday, so we're even now. Okay, who is the better mock drafter, Daniel Jeremiah?
How come
or
I get
Bucky
blamed
Brooks?
for that?
I said, yeah. Okay.
Damn, you was at
best
work.
mock drafter is Pat and Joe. There you go.
No. Oh, you kill me.
I want a Johnny Unitas kind of quarterback. Man, he didn't went way back. All I'm saying, my CJ Stroud going to be our Giants QB next year.
That could be. That could be.
He said,
You guys would absolutely kill that kid if he came here, and I don't want that for the kid.
I don't either. Yeah, that's what we're expecting to happen. I really am. I'm expecting us to trade the 5 and 7. There's some really good comments coming up.
Yeah. Having a real good chat tonight.
Yes, we are. I'm enjoying this.
Is Jalen Hurts lighting up the world passing the ball? No, he's not.
Look
That
at the
kid has a
wins.
foundation, though. They have a plan for Jalen Hurts, and that's why he looks half decent. We don't have a foundation here yet, bro. And I'm telling you,
just say Jalen Hurts just now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, y'all are going to force that kid in there to play. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. You know what they're going to say if they sit Malik Willis behind Daniel Jones a full year and he's not tearing it up? Think about it. Think about the fans. Daniel Jones throws one interception. Guess what you're going to be saying? Malik Willis.
Oh. Man, I'm sorry, but if you look at the games the Eagles won, Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 15 times, completed 9 passes. They ran for 300 freaking yards a game. That's when they were winning games. When in the playoff game, when they made Hurts throw the ball, didn't work out too well. I'm sorry. I'm not on the Hurts train. I watched him at Alabama for 3 years. I watched him go to Oklahoma because he couldn't beat out Tua because he couldn't throw the ball. I watched Hurts all through Alabama and Oklahoma, and you guys want a one-read quarterback, tuck it and run? Watch every play he does. He gets nervous in the pocket. He rolls to his right, and he throws down the right sideline. He doesn't roll to his left. He always rolls to his right unless he's on an RPO designated play. Then he'll run to the left. But if he's escaping the pocket, every friggin' time is to the right. And they know that. Defenses see that. They have a year of film on him. Watch what he does this year with the Eagles playing a second-place schedule.
Tudo Azuri says, since I've been appointed as the captain of our D5 months ago. Since I've been appointed captain of our defense 5 months ago, I've made it clear with owners that I have to pick and screen, interview, and sign every single defensive player in my team, my rules. Well, damn.
Yeah.
They gave you that kind of leeway? Good shit.
I know.
He just needs to get it all between the ears better. That's facts, Pat. Daniel Jones is an underdog. No, he doesn't. Oh, shit. Now Miz is going to Rick.
Rick's living on the surfing board. Oh, my goodness.
I guarantee most Giants fans are wanting badly to see Jones and Barkley succeed and be the guys long term. It just sucks the injuries and horrendous coaching and O-line, etc., killed them early in their careers. Yeah, that might be the case, bro. That might end up how their story ends. Willis needs to be developed for 2 or 3 years. I haven't seen a clip of him taking a snap from center, faking the handoff, and then going through his progression.
You're not, because that's not what the offense was built over there in Liberty.
Thank you very much for being here, James Earl Mones. Greatly appreciate it. Please click that
Best name in
subscribe
the
button if
game.
you haven't already.
Oh, James Earl Moses is a regular now.
Right.
Lou is vegan. Respect to the man. No, the hell I'm not. I just ate a steak today. The hell you talking about?
I had a cheesesteak with mushrooms and peppers.
I'm a steak and potatoes man.
Well, I don't
Shit.
know if you want to put the link in the chat for NYG22 and let him come on.
Yeah,
I would
if you
love to hear
does
him
he
come
want to
on.
come on?
Yeah, he said y'all should have a call-in show. Y'all missing my point. Let him come on.
Yeah.
We bring people on. We're not afraid.
Well, I don't think
Especially
he's gonna
once
come
we
on
get
here and debate. I think he's saying that we're not understanding what he means, so he wants to come on and clarify.
If you're a regular in here, we'll definitely have you on. But
there you go. Link is in the chat.
We gotta get to know you first, because there's some perverts out there that like to come on stream and flash a big old porno sign. And
no, I'm not a vegan. I just ate a steak today.
Yeah, I'd love to hear his point. I really would, because I get it. I hate typing. I hate chats, because I'm emphasizing a word one way and he's meaning it a complete 180-degree difference.
What are you talking about, Rick? Rick high as hell, man.
He did them shrooms.
Man.
Wait a minute. Penis is in the chat? I haven't seen him.
He's Brocosin.
One of his aliases.
Oh.
Daniel Jones is a typical New York Giant QB that usually just takes a lot of hits. I think this is Penis. And I think Stephen A is Logan.
Because I've seen him before. I've seen him in other chats when Slay and everybody. That's a different guy.
Oh, that's not Slay? I thought that was Slay using a different account.
No, I don't think that's Slay. I've seen Brocosin in entertainers.
Thank you for being here, sir.
Dogs.
I greatly appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button. I hope Martinez does not get cut. I hope he can come back and be the same player he was, because I like him. He's a tackling machine.
No, I've seen him on
It's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense to pay him a lot of money if he's not the same player he was, because he's about to be 28. And with that type of injury, we got to make sure that he's still mobile. Otherwise, it's pointless. Pat would kill Karlaftis' career.
Yeah, Slay is Jordan Renan. I agree, Steven.
Bad didn't know Lou was a vegan. No, I'm not.
NYG22, the link is in the chat. Click on the link if you want to come in, bro.
Right.
As long as Pat Thibodeau going in the first round, I'm selling.
And the Miz imposter. Yeah, that might be Penis. And the Miz imposter. Yeah.
We just in shock because of the last 10-year hype, but not you gotta trust your evaluation on the kid. I just don't want to hear fans complain if Willis tears it up elsewhere because he wasn't fit, right fit.
Did you hear what I just told you? I don't want him to come here because I want him to succeed. He's not going to succeed here, bro.
I'm not interested in him. Exactly. By the time Lou reads this comment, it will be the kickoff for the Super Bowl.
I think he's got a better chance to succeed anywhere but the Giants.
So that might be DJ. Eli Manning was a generational true talent. Facts. How are you going to get Stroud? Ever else win 7-9?
Trade.
Oh, damn. Penis is in the chat. Jalen Hurts. Do you have swag? We need swag. Fellas, good stream. I got to scram. I'll catch up on the rest of the stream.
Oh, thank you, Wells.
Thank you for being here, Wells.
All right, Wells. Have a good one, bro.
Real talk, though. I'm an Ohio State fan, and all I can tell you is this dude is a fucking monster. Yes, you watch film, you're definitely going to see him mess up a lot, but this dude's accuracy and throwing.
Yeah, I think he just needs a little time, man. Give him some time on Ohio State. Now, he has lost some weapons coming up this year, but I think C.J. Stroud could be the real deal. I actually think he's better than the kid from Alabama.
His throwing power is insane. Close. He's a pocket passer.
Oh.
What's up, NYG22? His
Hey,
power
Mike.
is insane. He's a pocket passer, but there's flashes that can take a stand, scramble it. Offense just doesn't let him. All right. Welcome to the show, brother.
What's good?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Hey, what's good, man? What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
pretty good.
Cool,
Thank you for
we
calling
good,
in, man.
bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of clarify my point on Daniel Jones.
Okay.
I don't think Jones is a bum, but hang on. I think I'm hearing some background. Hold up. All right. So I don't think Jones is a bum, but what I'm saying is Willis has that upside of a Mahomes, of an Allen, of some of the better quarterbacks, Watson, and I think what the Giants should do, this is my opinion, I think they should take him at 5 or 7, or maybe make a trade, or however they want to do it. You got many different options. And I think they should sit him behind Jones, because everybody wants Jones to come back. You got the, option or whatever, the 50 option or whatever. If you want to pick it up, you don't want to pick it up. We acknowledge he's going to be on the roster, just from an economic standpoint. So now you guys are saying, and Pat makes a good point, that he's going to get pressured to be thrust in to the mix right away. Now, what I would say this. Now, if you can build an O-line, we talked about this, through free agency and through the draft, you got 9 picks. So between free agency and the draft, you should get 5 competent O-linemen. Now, if you could do that, okay, you bring in Barkley back, maybe you bring in some of these guys back. I don't believe the rumors, but I think some of them are coming back. Some of them might get traded. So you're going to have weapons. They're going to make sure that there's some skilled players on this team. Whether they still healthy or not, that's another story. So if you do that, and you can have a competent running game with a quarterback like Malik Willis, you guys don't think that'll work?
To answer your question,
If he got put into that situation, that's not saying if he can or can't, because you still got Jones. Now, if Jones can hold up, the biggest thing with Jones for me is his health, and his processing speed when he gets in the red zone. That's why I don't think he throws as many touchdowns as some of these other quarterbacks, because he just reads slow. And by the time he makes the read, the cornerback or the linebacker's there, and it's an incomplete, or it's an interception, or he gets hit and it's fumbled. That's my thing with Jones. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he can get. I think his ceiling is basically Kirk
You
Cousins.
trash, Rick. You trash.
He's gonna get you. He can
I'll
probably,
take your
if he
candy every
maxes,
time.
if he maxes out, he can get you to that Minnesota Vikings level, where they fringe playoff team and you really ain't going nowhere. And us as Giants fans, we would sign up for that. And I see that's why y'all on Jones, because if he can get there, then yeah, you win the playoffs possibly. But we are the New York Giants. We're here to win Super Bowls. I don't want to be the Dallas Cowboys or the Eagles, barely getting into the playoffs and getting waxed. I don't want to be that team. But that's all I really came to say. Like, I don't want y'all to think that I think Jones is garbage. I just don't think that he has what it takes to take us to that level. And if you get a guy like Malik Willis, and if you get these coaches that can develop Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and if you can get some of these coaches in there that can develop raw prospects with high upside, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for a floor guy that can just come in there and just keep you afloat. That can win. It can work, but everything around it's got to be perfect. And I mean that's hard to do. You're gonna have deficiencies on your team, and you're gonna have to have a player, mainly the quarterback, that can raise the level over those efficiencies. Look at people like Russell Wilson. Look at Patrick Mahomes. His O-line, he got smacked in the Super Bowl, but he got him there with the bad, banged up O-line that everybody talked about. So we cannot expect Jones to do that. Everything, it's got to be a perfect situation for him, and that's going to be hard to create with so many holes on this team. But go ahead. That's all I wanted to say, man.
So you have valid points on Daniel Jones. He's not proven that he could be a franchise quarterback in the 3 years that he's played. That is very true. We're not saying that Daniel Jones is a franchise QB either. We're just saying that if you bring another QB into the situation, you're going to do the same thing to that QB that you did to Daniel Jones. And you said that Daniel Jones is not a QB that can raise the bar and bring everybody up to par, even though he's working with less things, correct? I just told you.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I just told you the stats that Malik Willis had when he played against smaller FBS schools. He was 7 touchdowns and 13 interceptions and less than 55%.
We know you ain't penis. There's this dude who be liking to change his appearance all the damn time, bro, Cosin, and try to come in here spamming and do another shit. So when we saw the new face, we just figured he was at it again. But sincerest apologies, no disrespect intended. But that's our name for him because he's an asshole.
Right.
Penis. So, but thank you for being here, and we appreciate it. Sorry for the misunderstanding.
So the stats that I just gave you, he had 7 touchdowns to 13 interceptions with less than 50% completion percentage.
I can't find it, Viz Edits.
So you said that we need a quarterback that can raise the level of everybody around him, even though he's under duress because he's on a team that's less talented.
I've scrolled back up through the chat looking for it. No, I got the Ohio State offense. Sorry, Pat. Power is insane. Real talk. Is it this one?
So with that being said, you said that you wanted a quarterback that could raise the level.
I'm putting the link in the chat for you, Viz Edits. How about that? Hop on, because I can't find your comment.
You say you wanted a quarterback that could come in and raise the level of everybody around him, even though he's playing on the team that's less talented. So when I tell you those stats, 7 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, less than 15 completion percentage, less than 55 completion percentage in those games. And he played against Syracuse, who's the bottom of the ACC. He played the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, who teams in the FBS called to beat up on them. He played Louisiana Monroe, who barely beat Jackson State. He played Ole Miss, where they got absolutely dog-walked. And he played Army, who is not even considered a good football team. They're just considered the Army-Navy game is what they're known for. They're not even considered a passing team. They run a wishbone out there in Army. And they got blew out in 3 of those games, and they lost to Syracuse and Louisiana Monroe by 3 points. With those stats that I just gave you, and they lost all 5 games. They didn't win one of them. With those stats that I just gave you, is that a quarterback that's raising the level of everybody to play against somebody that's better than them? Give me your honest opinion on that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you make a valid point. And my point is, I mean, you're kind of making my point for me in a sense, because my point is, we all agree he's not ready right away. Josh Allen, a lot of these quarterbacks have those similar stats, like
exactly.
similar.
So
we agree on that.
Yeah, so let me tell you the situations that those other quarterbacks came into. Patrick Mahomes didn't even play his first year and a half. He was behind Alex Smith, who was a veteran. He had a system with Andy Reid. Remember that. He didn't even play his first year and a half. He admitted that he didn't even know how to read defenses until his third year. But he had a chance to sit. You know why? Because that fan base had Alex Smith, and they were winning when they got there. They had a foundation. You knew what the cheese were. They were just waiting for Patrick Mahomes to be able to play, and then they took off. Josh Allen, he played garbage his first 2 years, and they wanted him gone. But they gave him a third year in that daboll system, and everything started working when they brought Stephon Diggs and everything, when the foundation was finally built. Deshaun Watson, he came over there with the Texans. Believe it or not, Bill O'Brien built a very good team around Deshaun Watson, and they took off. Remember, Deshaun Watson came in, he got hurt, he tore his ACL immediately, and then he came back the next year when the foundation and everything was good with Hopkins and everybody. They built that rapport. Aaron Rodgers, he sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years. You know what all those fan bases had in common? They had a quarterback there already that they believed in. In the Bills situation, there was nobody there to challenge Allen, so they had to go with Allen. Everything that you're saying about DJ, he sucks. He's a fumbling machine. He can't process quickly. He's terrible. He's bad. He's not that good. He's not a franchise QB. What do you think is going to happen if they draft Malik Willis? Do you really think that he has a chance to sit a whole year behind Daniel Jones without this fan base going absolutely nuts? Not to mention that Stephen A. Smith and a lot of people are coming out and saying that John Mara is a racist because of the whole Brian Flores situation. So if they're saying that he's a racist now, imagine what they'll say if he sits that kid behind Daniel Jones for a whole year, if Daniel Jones is not playing up to par. And then on the flip
Stephen
side,
A. Smith is an idiot. You know.
Yeah, we can agree on that. But
and then on the flip side, what if Daniel Jones does play well? Now what? You just wasted a pick on a quarterback, the number 5 or 7 pick on a quarterback, when the quarterback that you already had was that dude. He just needed some people around him. So now what you do with Malik Willis if Daniel Jones goes out there and throws 32 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions? Now what you do with Malik Willis? You know why I don't want Malik Willis here? Because I see no situation where that kid can succeed here. There's no situation he can. Either he's going to be forced in here to play when he's not ready. Look at the film. I beg you to look at the film and tell me what you see. Either he's going to be forced in here to play when he's not ready, or Daniel Jones signs, and then now he sits on the bench and now you're trying to trade him. And then everybody knows you're trying to trade him, so you're not going to get what you want from Malik Willis. I see
that's a good point, Pat.
I see no situation where he can succeed here.
No,
and I don't want him here because I want him to succeed.
I want to chime in a little bit here too. Can we all agree that we're maybe a 500 ball club this coming season?
Maybe. That's a major maybe.
Maybe. Okay. NYG, who's better, do you think? Malik Willis or Stroud or Young? Out of those,
you can't. I mean, we can't project what they're going to be because they said the same thing about what's the other quarterback? They said that those were going to be the top quarterbacks. Coming out this year. So I can't. We can't really compare that.
I'm going to say Stroud and Young are better. Okay, just for the simple fact that they go to different schools, they're playing at different competition, different levels. And look, okay, Young did get beat up in Georgia, but Georgia, when they first played Alabama, he tore them apart. All right, when you come back for a second game, you got a defense like Georgia had where all 11 guys could be a first-round pick. You could definitely make adjustments and figure out what you need to do to beat them. All right, and they confused him. But I think that Young from Alabama has a lot more potential and a way bigger upside than Malik Willis. And I realize that we are only a 500 ball club right now. So with me knowing that we're only going to be at the peak of 500 ball club, I'm a person that I can sit and wait, see what we have this year, and what we need to do going forward. Get a future draft picks this year for next year to go up and get that type of player. Because right now, a quarterback's not going to change this team one bit. All it's going to do is build up the frustrations more. But if we have a direction, if we have a sense, if we have an identity on the offensive side of the ball, that's going to make looking for the quarterback the following year that much better. Because Buffalo, when Shane and them got there, they didn't take a quarterback their first year. They cleaned house. They took a $70 million cap hit. They got their draft stock right. And they built the team and saw what they had the first year. That's Shane. That's the GM. That's Daboll. He was on that team. The Bills went out the second year, got their quarterback, developed him for 2 years. And now look at that team. That's the game plan that these guys come from. Even in Kansas City, like Pat said, they sat Mahomes. So even the offensive coordinator is going to be that type of a game plan person, realizing build the team, get your stars, get your playmakers, get the guys that can protect your rookie young quarterback, and then you go on a tear. Because then you got the free agents, you got the cap room, you got the draft picks. You've built this team from the inside out. You're going to be able to re-sign your picks. This is just going to take 2 to 3 years to get there. And if that means waiting on Malik Willis, and I hope that Malik Willis comes to the NFL in the right situation, gets to sit somewhere, learn how to be an NFL type quarterback, learn how to read a defense, learn that these guys are faster than the guys you faced in college because he's breaking tackles right now. There's no way he's going to be able to break tackles and scramble 20 yards deep on some of the in the NFL. He's going to get crushed.
You don't know that. You don't know that because they said that about Kyler Murray. So I mean that's all subjective. But as far as one quick point with Willis is he has the upside.
Hey, thank you.
Nobody's projecting him to come in and be this superstar quarterback. Now, what I would say is, if you guys, everybody love this Daboll and they love this Kafka guy or whoever coming in and all these coaches, don't you think these guys are smart enough to develop some type of scheme? If, because you still got Jones, y'all thinking he can come in the fourth year and make a stride. If he can, that's cool. That's even better. If he does that, you can trade him. You got Willis. You can trade Willis if you want to. You have options. That's the perfect scenario. But if he doesn't, and you have to put Willis in there, I believe that these guys should be able to develop some type of scheme to where he can at least play decently. Now, we're not expecting playoffs. Nobody's expecting that. So I don't see, Pat, I see what you're saying, but I don't see where it's going to be this great outrage if Malik Willis comes in and he doesn't light up the world.
What?
Shit.
I don't think so. I don't see it.
You need to watch that.
But,
you need to watch Pat's video.
It's all about the narrative that the media puts, because that's where it's all driven. It's all
And
media.
they be killing us. They be killing us, and they be pumping the fan base up to turn against players.
Yeah, you're right. And if they don't like Malik for some reason, that could be a dicey situation. I see what you're saying. I'm not totally sold on this idea, but what I'm saying is that's a way to maximize your coaching staff and your players, because you putting them in a situation with Daniel Jones. You already got Kenny Golladay there that doesn't seem to have any type of chemistry with Jones. Slayton drops the ball all the damn time. And who knows what Kadarius Toney is. So not only could a guy like Malik Willis spark a plug within your players on offense, because I don't think any of these guys believe in Daniel Jones. I think they like him. He's a nice guy, like we all like. He's a nice guy. Cool. He works hard. Cool. But the talent and the chemistry and the processing and the instincts, I don't see it from him. He doesn't have good instincts. It's like he hesitates a lot. He doesn't play with precision. And yeah, the coaching has definitely hampered him. But now you're at the point to where, like, I kind of already feel like he's damaged goods. Like, how much better is he going to get? If you get an all-pro offensive line, what does he turn into? I see Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, quarterbacks like that. That's not going to get you nowhere.
Ryan Tannehill,
you know,
made the AFC Championship game.
Well, look at the Titans, though. Look at their team.
Yeah, a huge foundation, right? They know you're going to run the ball.
Look at their team.
Very good defense.
But that's what I'm saying. If you get offensive linemen in here, and I'm gonna answer Joel's point real quick too, before I forget. If you get offensive linemen in here, and you can get a semblance of a running game with a running quarterback like Malik Willis, with guys like Kadarius Toney and Saquon Barkley, do you know what kind of offense you can have?
A playoff offense, but that's it.
Well, now, what if you put Jones in that same situation? Jones is not a running quarterback.
Nope,
he's not. He's not. He's a pocket passer.
They try to make him a running quarterback.
Right. There you go. You know what I'm saying? But I think these guys want a running quarterback, because you see what they do with Josh Allen. So that's what I think. But if they can't get it, then you got to put Jones in that situation. He's probably going to get hurt, or, you don't know that. Faith in that.
You don't know
There's
that.
no faith in that. Well, we got proof. He's been hurt
you
every
got proof
season
last
since
year.
He's been in
okay.
NFL. He's got hurt.
But you don't know he's going to do it next year.
He's been hurt every season since he's been in the NFL. That's a pattern. 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 And then one quick point, Joe. So as far as next year, so if you go 7 or 8, 9 or whatever, where are you picking in the draft? You're at the bottom. And if you can't trade down, everybody says trade down. Yeah. Trade down is not automatic. Trade down is upon if somebody wants to trade up. And if people are down selling these quarterbacks, nobody's going to want to trade up. So you're going to be stuck right there in that 15 to 18 range, and you're going to have to kill and mortgage your entire future to go up and get a quarterback that you probably iffy on. Because none of these guys guarantee unless you get a Joe Burrow or Andrew Luck, and those guys come out once every 10 years. But go ahead, I'll let you rebut. Go ahead.
You're a Giants fan. You love Phil Simms?
Yes, of course.
Okay, he was laughed and booed and criticized and treated like Daniel Jones was. Do you like Eli Manning?
Yep.
Okay, he was laughed and booed and criticized just like Daniel Jones, just like Phil Simms. See, I've lived through this already. I've watched the Giants fan base try to destroy people.
So have I.
So with everybody saying whatever, look, how many of these scrambling electric quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl?
With Phil Simms and Eli Manning, they had those instincts that I don't see from Daniel Jones. I don't see it. Those instincts, that next level type of even at the line of scrimmage, even at the line of scrimmage, you can see. I'm more specifically speaking about Eli Manning.
At
the line of scrimmage,
Eli was different.
At the line of scrimmage, he had an exceptional processing. It was next level. That's why he could succeed. Coughlin.
Right. Who's been Eli's coaches? Couple of clowns?
Coughlin is a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, that was Eli.
You said Eli's. No, you said Eli's again.
Oh.
You meant to say DJ.
Oh, yeah, DJ. Who's been DJ's coach? A couple of clowns?
Well, everybody was saying that Pat Shermer was like unlocking him or something. So
Well-
I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact of the matter is he hasn't performed under any coach. So I mean, what more is there to see? And if you looking at him from a film study standpoint, he misses a lot of open receivers
Okay.
that he doesn't see. He doesn't see him. He doesn't see him though.
All right,
if he
go
sees
back.
him, he can get the ball there. I'm not disputing the man's talent from an arm, like physical talent. I'm just saying it's something in his head that's not there that Eli had, that Phil Simms had, that some of these other quarterbacks got. It ain't there.
Every
I see
quarterback.
where you're coming from with that, NYG. Real talk.
I get it too. But every quarterback misses open throws. Go watch Tom Brady when he played the football team this year. Go back and watch that game. Watch how many open guys that he missed.
But you can't pinpoint. But you can't pinpoint a game here and there because Ryan Fitzpatrick can light it up a game or get on a hot streak. You seen Nick Foles win a Super Bowl. Guys like Brad Johnson and what's the other guy's name? Trent Dilfer. So a quarterback can get hot and win you a Super Bowl.
That slogan right there.
But that's not going to carry. That's not going to carry you. That's fluke. That's fluky. We know Eli Manning wasn't a fluke because he won 2 Super Bowls.
I'll tell you what, the people
so that's what but we knew he wasn't no fluke though.
Yeah, you guys did.
You always gonna have a certain portion of the fan base split on regardless of whatever situation that they. What I'm saying is, you got a new GM, you got a new coach, and and everybody is applauding these people, despite the fact that they haven't proven anything yet. So why wouldn't you allow them, if they deemed a talent like Malik Willis to be the next Patrick Mahomes? Not saying he is, but if he could be, or he could be a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or somebody like that, or a Kyler Murray, some of these new age quarterbacks, don't you think they should have the right to draft that person instead of being scared about what the fan base is going to think? That's my issue.
What makes those guys so good?
People would have killed the Giants if they took Josh Allen at 2 when they took Saquon Barkley, because everybody wanted Barkley. I never wanted Barkley.
What makes those guys
I thought
so
they should have traded down.
I don't get it with this electric quarterback.
Instincts, the ability to make off-script throws. When the play breaks down, Daniel Jones breaks down.
That's what you want.
That is true, Joe. I have to agree with him on that.
That's what's winning. This is the new age quarterback. This not saying this is what I want. I like the old game, to be honest with you. I was on the Joe Judge, build the running game and stop the run and all that. But it doesn't work. We've seen it. Doesn't work. You can't build a team like that no more. This is why I had to change my philosophy. And if you guys can't see that, then I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's just you see what I'm saying? That's what you got to think about. This is what Shane talks about, being progressive and being kind of, because you got to see the trends in the way the NFL is moving right now. The pocket quarterbacks, yeah, you got 2 in the Super Bowl. I give you that. But Joe Burrow is a second-year quarterback. Ain't nobody see him coming. And everybody, including everybody on this panel, says that he was a can't-miss prospect.
He was coming out.
And with Stafford has the perfect team around him. The Rams are
I
stacked.
said Burrow was going to.
So that's why he's
really
in the Super Bowl.
good.
But outside of that,
Jones.
Right, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying, the consensus was.
I look at rings, okay? You even said it in the beginning. You want championships, okay? How many outside of Mahomes, maybe Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson does prefer, but he will roll and scramble. So that's 2 rings right there. How many these scrambling quarterbacks have won a ring? That's what you guys want. Or is it been the pocket quarterback?
But
Is
you
it
look
the
into the
pocket?
past, and
You
you look
said
into
this
the
year.
past, and but what I'm saying, you got to be progressive, and this is what you're talking about. Y'all, everybody killed Gettleman, Judge, and all them for digging into the past and trying to make the new Giants from the old Giants, or vice versa, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
That's what they dogged them for. So why are we still dipping back into the past, trying to relive the glory days?
Because I
That's the
stood up
point.
for
It's
Gettleman,
not
though.
work, but it's not working though, Joe.
You just told me it was this year.
It wasn't working. I
You
didn't say it.
Yeah, because you said there's
No.
2 pocket passing quarterbacks in the Super Bowl this year. So it's
Yeah, and I
still
gave you
works.
the situation for each one.
But-
Matthew Stafford has a perfect team around him. Look at their defense. Look at their offense. And then with Joe Burrow, yeah, that's an anomaly. I give you that. He's special.
I will say this, NYG22. That's why I like having you on the show, bro, because you bring the heat and you bring facts, what you bring. Me and Joe, the thing that I'm saying with Malik Willis, bro, I'm not dogging Malik Willis. I think the kid can be a damn good quarterback in this league if he has the ability to sit. And I know you're saying, yeah, sit him for a year. We both agree with that.
Right.
But this Giants fan base and what's going on right now, he's not going to have that chance, bro. Can you imagine the headlines if we draft this kid number 5 and number 7 overall, and they make him sit a full year behind Daniel Jones? Do you understand what the media and the fans in general are going to do? They're going to not have a choice but to put Malik Willis in there before he's ready. And if you put that kid in before he's ready, you're doing him a major disservice, NYG. And I don't want that for him. I do not want that for him because it's not fair. Everybody's work. This guy has been hyped up. I thank you for agreeing. This guy has been hyped up, NYG. He's not coming in under the radar like Daniel Jones did. He's being hyped up. They're calling him the next Michael Vick. They're saying he could be like Lamar Jackson, MVP winning quarterback. That's what he's being compared to. That's what they want to do. Everybody wants to see the excitement. Everybody wants to see him run around the whole defense 3 times and then throw a touchdown pass. That's what they want to see. And it's not going to happen here if he gets forced in there too fast. And that's going to derail the kid. I don't want him here because I want him to succeed.
A la RG3.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with the Malik Willis
RG3
point.
was a beast, and they threw him in there early. He got hurt. Then they threw him back in there before he healed, and then he started second guessing himself, and he fucked himself up because he never got outside of his head after that injury.
Yeah, that's because the Commandos are that's why they're the Commandos.
And guess what? We'll commando him if he comes here, NYG. I can't see it any other way, bro.
And to your point, I agree, and that's why I don't think it's gonna happen. This is what I would do. This is just NYG. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. Just like you guys give your opinion, this is my opinion. I don't think the Giants would do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a cooler head. You're not hot-headed. You're not sorry to cut you off, but I'm just telling you why you're saying this because you're just like me and Joe. If we had our way, I would draft the quarterback and let him sit behind Daniel Jones.
Right.
But it's not the way fans think. It is not the way the media.
Daniel Jones should have sat behind Eli.
Right.
We're looking at the situation that we need to do with our team. We don't have anything here. That's why I said I'm willing to wait one more year let's get the offensive coordinator in here to establish his system. Let's get the offensive lineman to learn the blocking schemes. Get the defense set. And then when we draft a quarterback next year, he's coming in like Eli came in, like Mahomes came in, like
I feel like though if you take that situation, this is the flip side to the situation. So if you take that approach, which is not a bad approach to take, because a lot of teams went, but you have to be assured that you can hit on that quarterback. And the only thing about that is if you or a middle of the road team is you're gonna be the Vikings. You're gonna be the Commandos. You're gonna be some of these teams that are constantly looking for a quarterback because they don't have the draft capital to go up and get the quarterback. Or say, for instance, say you do have the draft capital and you have 2 or 3 teams up at the top of the draft that need quarterbacks. They're not going to trade out.
That's
There's so many
true.
different scenarios
Yes.
where that you possibly can get in what your boy Dave Gettleman said is quarterback hell, to where you're not bad enough to be in the top 10, but you're not good enough to be in the playoffs. And that's my only fear for taking that approach. You know, because a lot of fans are just assuming that you're going to go up and assuming that basically Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud is going to be on the Giants.
Well,
that is far, far, far fetched.
Well,
and we don't even know if those quarterbacks are going to even be able to turn out to be anything, because they still got another year of college tape you got to go through. Because a lot of Sam Howell and then the other guy, I forget his name, but they were supposed to be the top. Yeah.
Ritter.
Yeah.
Ritter,
not Ritter.
Yeah, Matt Corral.
Oh, the guy from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think it's him.
Oh man, he you talking
Right.
about
Yeah,
Rattler? He's coming out
Rattler.
next year.
Rattler, Spencer Rattler, and they were the go back and look at last year.
Oh, I
they
did.
were the
Oh,
top.
I know.
They were the top 2 quarterbacks, Sam Howell and that cat right there. And they were like, oh yeah, you just go and get Sam Howell, and look what happened. So you cannot assume that you're gonna go and get those quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. If you can identify, maybe he ain't. Maybe I'm just being a fan. But if they see that he has the talent that they can turn into something, and you have 2 top 10 picks. So even if he busts, which we hope he doesn't, but it's not like you still didn't. Hopefully you got a good player with that other pick.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? As opposed to where if you go up and you mortgage the future for C.J. Stroud and he turns out, because that's what you're going to have to do if you're picking in those middle rounds. You're going to have to trade multiple first-round picks to get up in the top half, and that's if a team wants to trade with you, because they may need a quarterback. If I need a quarterback, I'm not going to trade with you if you need a quarterback. So you stuck.
I'll
stuck
say
like
this.
Chuck.
I'll say this before I go get a smoke. NYG, I totally appreciate you coming on this show, bro.
Me too.
I definitely
Love
appreciate you. You need to come on more. I'm glad we gave you the link. Real shit, dude. I love debating with you. You come with fact after fact after fact. What I will say this, though, everything that you're saying is true, and it would be the right thing to do if the New York Giants fan base had cool heads. And if the New York media was a cool media and didn't want to bash people and make stories all the fucking time. If the New York Giants fan base would chill out and be like, man, we got Malik Willis. Let's see what Daniel Jones could do. If he doesn't do anything, we got Malik Willis to come in next year. They're not like that. They're going to push that kid in there, and he's going to be forced to play before he's ready, and you're going to ruin his career. You're looking at exactly what can happen to Malik Willis when you talk about Daniel Jones. And he's coming in with expectations. Daniel Jones came in with no expectations, and look how they killed him. Imagine what they would do to Malik Willis. Imagine what they would do to Malik Willis. And like I said earlier, this is the last time I bring this point up because I don't want to talk about that much. But because of the whole Brian Flores situation where it came out that Stephen A. Smith and all those silly people saying that Mara is a racist because he didn't hire Brian Flores, what do you think they're going to say if he sits that black quarterback behind Daniel Jones for the whole year and Daniel Jones is not playing up to par? What do you think they're going to say?
And that's the problem. And the more I think about it, I think that's why they won't do it. But that doesn't mean it's not the right move.
It's not a bad move if we had a cool fan base. I'm with it. If we had a cool head, like how we would have a cool head and know that we have to develop a quarterback, I would do it all freaking day. Hell yeah, I would take the kid. But I know for a fact that he wouldn't be in a fair situation coming here to NYG. And the reason why I'm saying I don't want him here is because I want the kid to succeed.
Right.
If he
Right.
comes
Yeah,
here,
but
it's not going
Pat,
to be like that.
the
It's
thing,
not.
the thing
And
that
let's
the
not
thing that I
forget,
think
in
about it,
2023, we will have over 80 million plus in salary cap to improve the club, help for DJ or next quarterback in the future.
He's right.
Shout out to Fernando NYG. I'm going to take a smoke. If you're gone before I get get back, I appreciate you, bro. Real talk. Don't
yeah, no
change.
doubt,
Keep
Big
your
Pat,
opinions,
man.
bro.
Hey,
I appreciate your channel, man. I appreciate y'all fellas giving honest and real and intelligent. I listen to a lot of channels, and I just see some of the,
yeah, BS.
you know, some fans are they should just watch the game and not comment so much, because a lot of it is just like really, like unintelligent. It's just like you got to dig a little bit deeper, because you got to understand that guys like John Mara, Jerry Jones, this is a business for them.
Right.
And this is how they look at it. And they have a lot of influence from the fans. And I think a lot of when the fan base gets so stuck in one opinion, and it's mostly media driven, I think that hurts the Giants, because I think John Mara has caved into a lot of that pressure in recent years. But I'm hopeful that, like you got Joe Shane in there now, and hopefully that they can let them do their thing and not get all antsy if they make a suspect move that the media thinks is suspect, that the fans thinks is suspect, like taking a Malik Willis, or taking, like you said, Joe, a cornerback, or something like that. That's what we got to get away from as Giants fans. Just let these cats do their job,
right,
and do their thing. So if they take, I want them to take Malik Willis, but if they don't, I'm not gonna be mad. If they take two, I'm not gonna be upset.
Right.
This is just what I would want them to do, and I'm giving you the logic behind it. Because everybody wants offense, but we haven't been able to generate offense. And I think, like you said, the Giants got to have an identity. And if you have an identity, what identity would you want? You want a finesse team, or you want cold, hard, pound and ground Giants football? And if you can get a quarterback like a Malik Willis that can run like he runs and throw off platform, Jones can run, but Jones is more of a straight line runner.
Yeah.
He can't juke you. He can't. He's not elusive. That's the difference. Everybody's like, "Oh, Jones can run." Yeah, he can, but he's not going to break no tackles. He's not going to.
He's not a scrambling quarter. He's not a scrambling quarterback.
And I think you can build a hell of an identity if you go out and you get some offensive linemen that can block on a screen or block the outside. And this is what the Giants haven't been able to do in forever. They can never block anything on the off tackle. Everything has to be up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. So that's what I'm saying. If you got Barkley, you know how many they can split Malik Willis out wide. They can put Tony in the backfield, Barkley in the slot. They can you see what you know how many option plays they can have with Willis, Tony, and Barkley? That's my plan. Because I think Big Pat said, like, what's your vision for Malik Willis?
Right.
That's my vision. That's that's dynamic.
I get it, okay, and I understand that, but a lot of the tell is going to be whether Shane's going to set up the future or not by trading those two draft picks, the 5 and the 7. If he trades the 5 pick that first night, expect him to drop the 7th too to get acquire picks for next year, a couple of first rounders. So maybe if we trade that first rounder, we find up with another team that's in the top 10. And instead of having to sell the farm, all right, because Shane has proven he's a guy of the future. He came in and already told the press, don't worry about the draft. I got the first 4 rounds figured out. So that's telling me he's a forward thinker. He's already got an idea for the future. He's already watching the game film from some of these other quarterbacks. And what happens next year if a Burrow comes out of another college? Because we're set on Stroud and Young right now does not mean that that's going to be the guy at the draft time next year. He might have his eye on somebody that is not even being thought of right now. because that's his mindset. That's his, as a GM, that's what he's doing. Daboll, he's talking to him saying, I want you to look at this guy with me. What do you think? You know, you did wonders with Josh Allen. What can you do with this guy? But it's all going to be set up. And I would love to have that guy here. I'm not going to lie. The Giants have never had that guy behind the offensive line. But my only question to you is when you get a quarterback like that, Jalen Hurts missed a couple of games and Lamar Jackson missed the last 5, and that's what took them out of the playoffs.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Renan.
that's why.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Jordan Renan.
Okay.
This is a football channel. This is a sports channel. If your topics do not pertain to sports, don't come on here.
I blocked him. That's why he's asking me that.
All right, continue.
Yeah, but what I would say as far as like the 5th and the 7th pick, okay, how I would approach it, I'm gonna give you what I would do, and I'm gonna give you what the Giants would do.
Okay.
What I would do is I would go out, get a Laken Tomlinson, or some type of guard, some type of inside offensive lineman in free agency. You may. Everybody else is pretty much going to be minimum type contracts. That's going to. Oh, am I there?
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you now.
Yeah. That's going to be a splash move. So then you go and you get the first pick, number 5. You take a tackle. You got to take a tackle at 5. I don't agree with trading it. I don't agree because if you trade it and Carolina pivots or somebody trades up and takes the tackle that you want at 6, then you're screwed. Unless you want to reach for Linderbaum, and I don't agree with that.
But you don't think you can get a Cam Aquano at 7?
It's dicey because he's being hyped up.
Yeah, but okay.
Like y'all talking about Malik Willis, Akeem Aquanu is basically a lot of drafts have him going above Evan Neal.
Okay, so you got Evan Neal, Aquanu, and Cross. We should definitely be able to get one of them 3 at 7.
Yeah, there is a scenario though where you don't, because if Jacksonville takes Neal, okay. Then you got Detroit. They'll probably take Hutchinson or Kipito, whatever. And then Houston. Houston is the wild card in my opinion because they could trade out. They can go defense or offense. But say they want to help Davis Mills out and they go tackle. So there's Akeem Aquanu, and the Jets take Cross. Panthers are there, and I mean, we're there at 5. So we can take Thibodeau, or I don't want to take Hamilton or Linderbaum at 5. So I would try to trade out, but that could be the scenario where, or even if you trade down to 7, then you got the Panthers to worry about because they need offensive line help. Like their offensive line is damn near worse than ours, or it may be worse than ours.
Have you seen any of my mock drafts?
I think you did one the other day.
I was able to get,
but I don't remember what
Linderbaum, Christian Harris, and Kingsley in Enigbre with my first 4 picks.
A lot of those mock draft simulators,
well, I mean, I know they're going to change, of course,
BPA,
and people are going to drop and move up. And
yeah, like BPA. I'm just saying like what the trend is. The trend is going. It's now we got to see with the combine and all that. But I'm saying what the trend is going is that Aquanu is being mocked in a lot of top in drafts in the
Yeah,
top
but
4.
I
people
told
In the
forgetting
people
top
too.
4, him and Neil. Him and
Minnesota
Neil.
might want a
He's gonna go
quarterback.
one.
The Saints might want a quarterback. It's rumored that the Steelers are high on a quarterback. So I mean,
If
we're
you can
sitting.
trade out,
Hey.
but do you want to trade? Do you want to trade out? Because
Listen,
I'm just asking you guys because it's offensive line or bust. So do you guys want to trade the 5th pick and possibly not get nothing at 7?
well, Parsons
No,
fell to
no, 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 no,
11.
no, 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 no.
Tunsil fell to 13. There's always guys that fall in the draft. It happens every year.
But you
You
don't
get-
know
When
when
I say
you don't
when I
when
say
you
trade
when you
back,
trade though, you don't know who's gonna fall.
Hey,
true.
That's
you
the
But
know,
when
that's the
I
dice.
say trade back,
That's the
I'm not.
dice.
When I say
Yeah.
trade back, I'm not talking about both picks, and I would have to see who goes in the first 4 before I even consider trading the 5th.
True.
So
True.
for me to do that, I would have to look at all possible outcomes and all the variables, because that's not just a decision that you just make on a hunch.
Right.
Um,
And that's
So-
a smart thing to do. That's
Well-
a smart thing to do because
Well,
if you can get your guy at 5, then you can trade 7. Or if the board falls where one of the tackles are going to fall to you at 7, then you can trade 5. So I see what Lou's saying. That makes a ton of sense right there because you would never go into it just basically. I wouldn't make a pre-draft trade because you see a lot of these teams make
Right.
pre-draft trades. I wouldn't do that. You got to look how the
I
board
would do
falls
something
because
like Dallas and Philly did last year, right before the
yeah,
trade.
right,
Can I
right,
You
right
make an
before the
agreement
pick.
with your trade
Hey,
partner,
guys.
like, look, if this scenario comes out, we're gonna do this. Agreed. Okay, then if it plays out the way you want it, you make your deal.
Hey guys, can I say one thing? Shout out to the consistent 30 people in the chat for
Still?
watching in on the stream. You've been with us 3 hours.
damn.
This
Yes.
this is what the Big Blue Crew does. This is what we do on these channels. NYG, I cannot thank you enough for coming on. Glad you clicked that
Appreciate
link,
y'all for
brother.
having me on.
This is what we want from you guys in the chat. Continue to come with your opinions. Continue to bring the heat. This is what happens on this network here.
And even
Big
if
Blue
we
Crew
did, we
Network.
were never gonna stomp your opinions down or get
Never.
all
Right.
loud and be rude or try to berate you or degrade you. This is just dialogue about sports. We all have a team that we're passionate about. And when football's not in play, where do you get all that testosterone out without abusing your spouse in a good way?
This is what true debate is, people, and this is what we're going to continue to bring you. So I love all you guys that tune in, and we're going to continue to bring you great debates such as this. I didn't know that we were on 3 hours, and I could talk to this guy for hours.
Let me tell y'all what I think the Giants are going to do. So I gave you my scenario. Now, what I think the Giants are going to do, I think this Wink Martindale hiring is significant because defense is going to be put into play heavily. And when I say heavily, I mean heavily because the guys that are going to get cut, they're going to be from the defensive side of the ball. Those big contracts over there, Bradbury, Martinez, you got what's the other guy they can cut? I'm blanking on it right now, but Peppers, yeah, well, he's a
Bradbury,
free
Logan
agent.
Ryan, Peppers.
But yeah, Logan Ryan, Peppers, yeah. So that's where the cut's gonna come from. So they're gonna have to supplement that. Now with the offense, I think it's just gonna be heavy O line. They just need to get the O line. You can upgrade the talent as far as a skill position, definitely at the quarterback. But if they're going the route that I think they're going to go, they're not going to do that. They're just going to focus on the offensive line, maybe get a tight end here, a back end receiver in the late rounds. And I think defense is where it's gonna come into play. So I think O line, tackle. If they can get the top tackle at 5, they're gonna take. And then at 7, if they don't trade back, that's probably going to be a Devin Lloyd, or I could see. I'm hearing now that Wink Martindale, he's not real big on top pass rushers. That
No,
he values
he's
the
not.
secondary and he values the linebacker core.
Yep.
So you could see a corner. I don't agree with it. That's not how I would go. If I had to go defense, I would go edge or linebacker. But if you got Hamilton or the other cat Stingley, they might take him. They might take him because they're gonna get a piece. Wink Martindale is not coming over here to have a bear cover. They're gonna get him some pieces.
Right.
Along with the pieces they got. And the fact of the matter is, we all as Giants fans know that the defense is way farther along than the offense.
Facts.
So if they can build up that defense and get a average middling offense, that's probably, I think, the route they're going to take. They're going to get somebody that can be basically an all-pro that they hope in that defense. And to do that, you're probably going to have to take them. You're probably going to have to take them at 7. Because I think the later the rounds get, the talent it kind of dwindles down. So I think with a Devin Lloyd, one of those blue chip prospects, Stingley, Hamilton, some people even saying Karlaftis, some people saying Thibodeau might fall that low. So if you can get one of them cats, I think you rolling. And I love defense. You know what I'm saying? My take on Malik Willis is my take on Malik Willis, but as a Giants fan, I've always witnessed the Giants having a dominant defense.
Yep.
So I'm all for that if they can do that. But at some point, they got to have a plan at the quarterback position.
Well, I'm looking at the draft. I know you said you wouldn't trade early in the draft, but if a team like the Saints, who's going to need a quarterback, let's say the Saints and Carolina are both looking at Kenny Pickett. All right, because maybe a team goes up and trades with the Texans to get Willis. Well, Carolina doesn't have any draft capital because they gave it all up for Darnold and some other stuff. They don't have much this year or next year. So what if a team like the Saints comes up and offers you 3 first-round picks, a second this year, and maybe a 4th? Okay, so you're getting another second this year, and you got 3 first-rounders that you're looking at. Would you make that trade a week before the draft? Because that's probably what they'd have to give up the 5, because that's guaranteeing you. That's guaranteeing you the capital to get a quarterback next year.
Let me tell you what's going to piss the Giants fans off more than drafting Malik Willis. That if this offensive line is not anywhere close to being decent, these guys are pretty much fired from the jump. Yeah. So the only scenario I can see you do something like that is if this is the important thing about this draft. The tackle talent, it's a huge drop off from the first 3.
Yes, it is.
So if you can't get one of them first 3 with the tackles, then you better have signed a free agent right tackle that can come in from day one and be solid. Not an all-pro, but solid. Good enough.
There's only one tackle I like in this draft, and that's Equano. I don't like any of the other ones. If Shane thinks the same thing, he's off the board.
Cross and Neal will come in and be decent. No. They may have struggles, but they'll be Cross will be good and pass protection especially. I think he might struggle in the run game. He might struggle with stunts or something like that, but I think he'll be pretty good. But
you could get him at 7.
Neal will be good, but you don't know that though. You got Carolina; they need O-line help. Houston needs O-line help. Too. The Jets need O-line help, but maybe we need a quarterback. But maybe they're in the same situation where they saying let's not reach for one.
Well,
so that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different scenarios, but I think that if you grab the tackle. If you can't grab the tackle in free agency, then you got to take them with 5.
I hate to say it, a lot of Giants fans are going to be upset. A lot of Giants fans are going to be upset this year. I'll guarantee it.
Yeah, they got to have a plan for that O-line, though. I'm okay if they don't take a tackle at 5 or 7, but You better have got one in free agency that can hold up. Because the guards, you can get the guards later. The centers, the guards, you can get those later. You can get those later to be adequate.
Oh yeah, I know
for
there's
your O line.
quite
But
a
that
few
tackle
interior
talent,
linemen.
because you going from Cross and O'Neal to what? Trevor Penning and
Mhm.
Dylan. Those are not great prospects. They need a lot of work.
You know that,
So,
but that's just it. We think that right now, but we're not interviewing. We're not talking to these kids. We're not doing the research that these teams are doing on these people. We're not comparing numbers that we want with these guys that what we're seeing. You know, it's all about
That's
analytics.
true.
So even though we say that Neal could be a great prospect or Cross, if Shane doesn't think so, that's why I said I think the Giant fans are going to be really butthurt with some of these draft picks.
But they have to have a plan for the offensive line.
But they got
If
3
you,
years
like I
to
said,
do it.
if you, the Giants fans, we all want to see offensive line play, and if these guys don't put a competent offensive line on the field in 2022, they're going to get fired.
I doubt that.
You think Malik Willis? I think so.
I doubt
because if this offensive line is bad and Jones is running around getting sacked, fumbled, you think the fan base is going to chill on that?
Hey, Merrill was going to bring back Judge. It was Tish's idea to fire everybody.
No way. Is no way.
Well,
after everybody in their mama.
You don't know
that. And their baby's mama is talking about the Giants need an offensive line. And if these guys don't go out, they don't have to take one with the first 2 picks. I'm just saying, if they don't put something competent on the field, it's not.
They're going to raise hell. If that line looks like the line that we had last year, they're going to raise hell.
There ain't no way it's going to. There ain't no way it's going to look like it last year because those guys are out of the freaking league.
Well,
now.
I mean, you saying that, but if you pass on tackle and you don't get a tackle in free agency, and you got Nate Solder at a Nate Solder type of player at the right tackle position, he just getting dominated every single snap. That old line is going to look bad.
You ain't going to worry about a Nate Solder type tackle here anymore. These guys got to evaluate talent.
But that's what I'm saying. They got to get it from somewhere. So it's going to be in the draft or free agency. So in free agency, you're going to have to sign one. And if you don't sign one in free agency, it's going to have to come from the draft.
Well,
and if it ain't the first, if it ain't the top 3, then it could be iffy.
Well, let me ask you this: how many linemen have we got on the team right now?
That signed?
No, yeah, right now. How many linemen do we have on this team right now?
I think Price is signed. Bredesen.
They're gone. You know they're gone.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
actually, because they need depth. So I mean, if they get some starters, then they could be depth pieces. But I mean, it's not a guarantee.
You really want them on this team?
I know Hernandez will be gone.
Right.
I do know that him and Solder and
the only guy that should return is Thomas. The only guy that should be returning is Thomas. That leaves the Mew and Pert.
But you got to get depth, though. So they can't just cut everybody.
That's where I'm leading to.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
But do you want Sakura and Price and Bredesen back?
I would probably take Bredesen, and then the rest of them I cut.
Okay, so there's...
Only because Bredesen's still young, and he flashed a little bit, but he was hurt a lot.
So that leaves Lemieux and Pert, Bredesen, and Thomas. Those are the 4 linemen.
They bring him back, but I don't think they bring Gates back.
I wish to God he could come back, but I don't think he's
I mean, that's just a serious injury, and it's just to hold up a roster spot that don't make no sense.
But we need 5 O linemen because you got to carry 9. So they're going into free agency and they're going to get somebody. That's why they want to clear up the $40 million in cap.
Yep.
So you're going to start. So that's why I say a lot of Giants fans that want O linemen in the first round. I think there's going to be a lot of frustration going on because of what we saw last year. And then everyone says, well, you got this fan base is split. Half of them want O-line with the first 2 picks or even 3 picks. Even in the second round, they want to go O-line, O-line, O-line. But is that really feasible, putting 3 rookies out there? You know, that's where we talk about developing players, letting them set, letting them learn how to be a pro. So that's where, okay, you got Lemieux. He's coming off a patella injury. That's serious.
But like y'all saying though, is the New York Giants fan base doesn't have patience.
Right.
So this fan base, despite what everybody is saying, this fan base is gonna want to see more than 4 wins next year. So they're gonna have to put a competent enough team on the field in order to achieve that. And if you don't got that O-line fixed, and if you can't get one in free agency, you better take one in the draft.
Do you really think this O-line could be fixed? Do you really think this O-line could be fixed with the draft and free agency, like a really good offensive line?
I don't think it's going to be top 10. I think it can be competent. I think it can be average. Yeah, it can be average. Because look at what the Chiefs did. A lot of teams fixed their O-line and with just a couple of moves. You know, we already got one solid piece, and that's the main piece on the line. That's the left tackle.
But now we need a center.
That's the other main piece you got to get is the other blinds. The other side is the right tackle. And then, of course, I
think we need a center more. Though.
A center more than a right tackle.
Yeah, I agree with the center is important, too. I think you can find centers, though. I mean, it's not, you know, I know a lot of people want Linderbaum, but I don't, you know, that's kind of a luxury pick to me because you can get get the center later, and then if you get Linderbaum, he's probably gonna be one of the highest paid centers in the league off jump.
Right.
And I don't, you know, with the cap situation, I don't know if they want to do that. That's why Shane talked about the positional value.
Right. That's another problem.
One of the interviews he did. Yeah.
Well, how are they valuing these guys at what position? That's something we don't know as a fan base because we've never seen them draft.
Yeah, you don't, and you don't know what Shane's gonna do because he you know, he was a assistant GM, he wasn't the GM, so you know, we could all speculate, but he wasn't the GM. But
that's why I mean there's a lot of growing with this team right now, and fans have got to be patient. You can't rush anybody. There's got to be some patience. I think if you look at
the philosophy on offense, like what I was talking about with the 2 O-line sets. They don't use that. They use 11 personnel, and that's what 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back.
Yes.
And so I think they're gonna need a tight end. They're gonna need a good tight end, but I don't think they're gonna need a whole bunch of tight ends. And you know, I don't think it's Caden Smith. So I think they're gonna get one in the draft. And I think the kind of offense that they would build around a guy like Jones is probably going to be a mixture of West Coast with a little bit of what they call it, the downfield air raid or where you go downfield. I think that's how it's going to be. It's going to be mostly West Coast though, because the Jones is pretty much he's a 1-read quarterback. Let's keep it real. So the way you maximize a 1-read quarterback is with those West Coast concepts where, you know, if that route is not open, then you go to the other. You know what I'm saying? It's not complex where he got to make a decision, and then he can, you know, I guess he can probably pull it and run it, and they're going to do a lot of RPOs too. That's what you're going to see from probably like a Brian Daboll style offense is the
Caden
RPO.
Smith might not be back. He's got a degenerative knee issue, so we have no tight ends on this roster. None.
Caden Smith, I think you say like $2 million. If you cut him, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's not worth keeping.
That's why I said we've got no tight ends.
I like him though. I like Caden Smith. I think he could have been good, but they never used him. So
me too.
Yeah, he's done. But I think they get one tight end in the Jags
draft.
Ojulari
gets a pass as well. I mean, rookie season in the shitty team, and he still pulls off 10 sacks. I think he gets a pass. I don't want to give that kid up. I think he'll blossom in his second year and have a better showing than last year.
I think he has a damn good year in Wink's system.
Well,
he's gonna have a good year in Martindale's system.
And I think Ellison Smith is gonna show up too.
Me too.
Y'all tune in tomorrow for that Giant Interactions with me and Pat at 2:00 Eastern tomorrow.
We are almost 3.5 hours in,
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
and still got 30 people in the chat.
We got
Man, that's
40
amazing.
people in the chat right
That's
now.
why I'm here.
Yeah,
40.
we got 40 people in the chat right now. That's what's
40.
up, man.
Wow, man. Salute. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, get notified when we go live. We're
No,
live on each other's channels
it's-
all the
it's-
time. Big Pat Sports,
It's all the
Classified
vets.
3F,
It's all the day ones.
Big
It's,
Lou.
you know,
NYG22 is our special guest tonight.
Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all for having me on.
Great takes.
It's
Great.
crazy. It's crazy because I titled the video "The Rebuild," the Giants rebuild, and this conversation just freely flowed into all the possible outcomes of this rebuild. So
Well, of course, you
right,
got me in here.
uh-oh.
I think it was despite of you, Joe. But
Hey, you know what? I busted a rhyme out really nice to start the stream out. That's why you got 40
feel
people
free
here.
to come back anytime, NYG22, man.
real talk, bro.
For real.
Real talk.
We do the True Big Blue podcast every Wednesday. We do the Giant Cave every Tuesday. We do the Monday mockumentary every Monday on Joe's channel. So, and then we call the games in between each other's channels. So you can
Doing
hop
something.
in on any one of our streams, man, anytime.
Anytime, bro.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, appreciate y'all for having me on. You know what I'm saying?
Do you Twitter NYG22?
I'm not on Twitter. I mean, I look in on it though, but I don't.
No, because we
I
can
don't really
send
get
you the
into
link. We can send you the link to hop
Link
on the
to
stream.
Oh,
through Twitter.
yeah. And I gotta look at my Twitter handle, but I'll get back with you. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm
Yeah,
Classified
no doubt.
3F if you want to find me on Twitter.
Yep. And I'm Big Pat Sports. So basically the same name.
And I'm
You can find
GNATION
us on
everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's cool, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Keep it up, man. Awesome content, man. I love the perspective, man. It's unique. It's refreshing. It's not
Thank
the same
you.
old takes and the same old, like I said, I think the experts are not. I think the fans are the experts. I think the fans know, just like the fans was telling Gettleman that he was a retard for making some of the moves he was making. It's because the fans know. The fans can see. The fans can feel like what's wrong with the team, man. I think for the most part, we all in agreement. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, we all in agreement. Get the O-line fixed, man. Let's try to build the team up. Got a different opinion on the quarterback, but that's cool.
That's why we built this channel, so you guys come to us instead of ESPN and Fox Sports and CBS Sports and listen to their BS. Because we want to hear what you guys have to say too. It's great. I love interacting with you guys. I'd rather go live than make a video any day of the week.
That's cool. But I'm going to hop off, fellas, man. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate y'all. Keep up the good work, man, and I'm always be tuning in to y'all.
Beautiful.
Thank you, bro.
All right,
See you in
man.
the chat.
Thank you so much, bro.
All right, peace.
Yeah, what a great subscriber, a great individual.
He had a lot of good takes, man. That was a good good conversation.
Get you thinking. Got me thinking.
Yeah.
Got me
Definitely
thinking.
got me thinking.
And he knows his shit too. He didn't just come up here and say 5,000 times.
Right. Brought the heat and the fire.
When we end it, stay on for about 2 minutes. I got an idea. So
he said 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'm only worth 2 minutes.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
To the grocery store.
No, she said 30 seconds. Okay, that not 2 minutes.
Jesus, Joe.
Why? I'm old. I can't help it. I don't have stamina anymore.
It looks like everybody's going out. So
right, yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. People realizing the time. So 3.5 hours. Oof, I'm tired. Lou looks beat.
Well, you guys, thank you very much. Another great stream. Appreciate you guys being here with us, rocking with us the entire time. We had a lot of good topics, a lot of good takes. Let me know if you couldn't stay for the whole thing. Go back, rewatch it, and leave your takes in the comment section. We'll definitely get back to here. We'll definitely love to hear from you, and we will get back to you. So, sub to Big Pat, sub to Joe, And as always, until next time.
Peace.
Peace.